Chadwick is going to go defensive to the inside. We're going to go side by side through Blanchimont. This is the perfect finale to the final, and Lando Norris has found a way down the inside by 600ths of a second, and he wins the Not the GP Veloce versus. Fantastic.
And welcome to Not the GP versus, supporting UNICEF, the series that puts drivers against each other in a head-to-head, one-lap, winner-takes-all battle. Last time out, McLaren F1 driver Lando Norris edged out YouTuber Tiamat Marduk to become our first ever Not the GP versus victor. Surely, things can't get any more exciting than that. Well, you'd be wrong. This time, we have got 5 real-life F1 drivers, a huge amount of talented junior drivers, a couple of content creators, just sprinkled in there, and the cherry on top, he's back once again. It's the Real Madrid goalkeeper. All that racing, and we are going to need ourselves a commentator. So, joining me for today's event is the brilliant Ginger Andy. Evening, Andy.
Evening, Hayden. Evening, everyone. I'm really looking forward to action. This 1v1 format was a massive success on debut, and I can't wait to see who can handle the pressure of the knockout format best.
Unfortunately, today's events are only possible because of the postponement of real-life sport due to the ongoing coronavirus situation. Our thoughts and prayers go out to all of those who have been affected and the brilliant health workers and public services who are doing such an incredible job in these difficult times. We want to help fight back though, and we are so proud to support UNICEF to help raise funds to minimise the impact of coronavirus that it has on children and families across the world. Any donation, no matter how small, can go a long way to helping families suffering through this tough time. To donate, check the link in the description if you are with us on YouTube. And for those of you watching on Twitch, you'll find ways to donate in the panels section below. You can also type !donate in the chat to receive a link on where to donate. We understand these are tough times for everyone. So if you are able to donate, if you aren't able to donate, you can still play your own part in the fight against coronavirus by staying safe and staying indoors. Thank you. We are hoping tonight to raise a target of 10,000. And if you do donate, you will be entered into a draw where we will be giving away some incredible prizes. So far, we have already unlocked Veloce pop sockets and Veloce New Balance hoodies. Those were on the 100 and 500 donation mark. At 1,000, we will be giving away free Veloce hoodies. Once you reach 2,000, we will then have free Logitech bundles that we will be giving away, including a keyboard, mouse, and mouse mat. 4,000 and at 3,000, we will have 2 sets of F1 tickets to any European Grand Prix once the season gets going, away for 2. And at 4,000, I'm unfortunately going to be dyeing my hair bright blue, but it's all in the cause, isn't it? It's all part of the cause. At 6,000, we'll be giving away a BenQ monitor of your choice. 8,000, and we have a brand new Placey F1 to give away to anyone who donates. And finally, if we reach our 10,000 target, we have 2 VIP F1 paddock passes for a European Grand Prix to give away. Now, those are some pretty impressive prizes up for grabs for anyone who donates tonight. Andy, out of all those, which one would you like to get your hands on?
Well, first of all, Hayden, I'm glad you've nominated to go blue with the hair. But Hayden, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for an F1 super fan to get up close and personal with the sport they love. Fingers crossed we can reach that 10,000 target and someone can win that top prize.
Now, we've seen this type of series happen before, last time when we did the Versus series. We're going for it again. This time, like I said, we've got bigger drivers, bigger names in the sport. Who are you most excited about looking forward to? Just look at that bracket and look at all these drivers' paths to the final. Andy, who excites you the most?
Oh, well, it's absolutely stacked, isn't it? What a grid that is. I mean, he has proved to be really, really impressive. So I'm looking to see what he can do. I think he's got to be going in here as one of the favourites.
Yes, certainly. I mean, just look at the talent. We've got 5 F1 drivers. Lando Norris, he will be starting the day, of course, up against Callum Ilott. Lando Norris won it last time out, beating TMM Marduk just to the line. Jamie Chadwick, of course, the W Series Championship will then go up against Louis Delatraz, followed by Sasha Fenestraz up against Enzo Fittipaldi. Arava, the content creator, YouTuber, will be taking on Ferrari driver Charles Leclerc. That is a big matchup for him. Who would have thought it, Arava, sitting in his bedroom making videos 2 years ago, to think that he will be going up against Charles Leclerc, a Ferrari driver, in a virtual world. Jean-Eric Verne, my boss, will be taking part in this. He will be going up against George Russell. So, I'm going to have to say that I'm expecting or hoping for Jean-Eric Verne to go all the way and get the win. If I don't say that, he's probably going to fire me. I'm only joking, but I am hoping that Jean-Eric Verne can do very well in this competition. George Russell, of course, F1 driver. He's going to be going up against him. Another F1 driver in the Williams, Nicholas Latifi, is going up against Enzo Fittipaldi's brother. I think it's his brother, isn't it? Pietro Fittipaldi. There's a big family, big racing family over there. Alexander Albon, another F1 driver for Red Bull, going up against Thibaut Courtois, the Real Madrid goalkeeper, and of course, Arthur Leclerc going up against Tiamat Marduk, who is, of course, Charles Leclerc's brother. So, as you say, a stacked drivers list. And we've also got some great tracks to go up against, haven't we, Andy?
Yeah, there really is some fantastic tracks on the calendar. I'm really looking forward to see how they get on. We've got Austria, we've got Canada as well, we've got United States and Silverstone, all tracks where you can go side by side. And particularly the last two, I think those two with a wide layout will provide us with some great side-by-side action throughout tonight's racing. So yeah, really looking forward to it. But I mean, we've got the last 16 to come up first. And that's in Austria. And side by side, the shortest track on the Formula One calendar by lap time. So you really need to get the move done early in the lap on that uphill climb and then down towards turn 4 as well. So, you feel as if you're going to win there, you're going to have to make that move nice and early.
Yes, guys at home, don't forget that you guys can get involved with tonight's event by tweeting us using the hashtag #NotTheGP. We will be reading your tweets throughout the show. So if you do get in touch, I'm sure they will be up there. You've also got the counter in the bottom right-hand corner of your screens. We're currently sitting on £964.22. So that is a fantastic amount raised. So we can't thank you guys enough. But let's see what else that we can unlock as the night unfolds. This is a tweet that's come in from @the_F1Rush. Cannot wait for this race. Join at 8 p.m. BST. Hashtag #NotTheGP. Hashtag Veloce Esports. So a lot of people really excited for tonight's proceedings, Andy, just like yourself.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic. I mean, it's going to be so hard to pick a winner once again. I mean, obviously this time we've got 3 races in the last 16. So, if one of your favourite drivers loses that first race, he's still in with a shout. It's best of 3 last 16, best of 3 all the way through to the final. So the real opportunity, even if you get that first race wrong, to recover. And, not only that, there's a little bit less pressure on those drivers now in that last 16, and hopefully we'll see less in the way of spins, because we saw a lot of that last week.
Yes, so unfortunately, sorry, this is the first matchup coming up. This is Jamie Chadwick, Louis Delatraz. We did actually have a change last minute. Jimmy Broadbent, unfortunately, having to pull out. For any of you wondering where Jimmy Broadbent is, because he was announced yesterday. Unfortunately, has had family issues. So we wish him all the best and hope to see him again soon. But coming in his place is Enzo Fittipaldi. So F3 driver for HWA. Got to be an exciting matchup. And, Andy, we've just hit 1,000 on the donation. So thank you guys at home. That is absolutely amazing stuff from all of you at home, which I believe unlocks the free Veloce jerseys. So we will be giving those out after the stream in the next coming week. So look forward to those. Andy, first matchup, I believe, is going to be Lando Norris against, who is it? Lando Norris against, if I get my sheet up, here is Lando Norris against Callum Ilott. So an exciting matchup. Who have you got for that one?
I'd probably say Lando would be the safe bet. I think Lando's done really well. Obviously, winning last time out, okay, with a slight help from Ben, I suppose. But he put on a great show last week. The two of them, it was a really good battle. And yeah, Lando, the winner, the champion, looking to hold on to his crown. It's hard to argue against him. Hayden, he's surely the favourite there.
Yeah, it's got to be, really. This is a tweet that's come in from at Alas Barres. Just ready, and they've got the screen ready and waiting. If you want to tweet, don't forget you can get involved with the hashtag #NotTheGP, and you can watch me absolutely butcher the pronunciation of your name. So the first race is getting underway. It's actually Louis Delatraz against Jamie Chadwick. So Andy, I'll let you take over on the commentary.
Yep, so we've got a late change in the first race as Jamie Chadwick then leads them through the first corner, and Delatraz very, very wide. So on this track, as I mentioned in the build-up, you really need to try and get ahead early on, because that's where the best overtaking opportunities are going to be as they climb the hill. I'm getting a little bit black, Hayden. If you don't, can you maybe take over?
Yes, so Louis Delatraz, unfortunately, going a little bit wide at the exit of turn 3, currently behind Jamie Chadwick. So the W Series champion leading the way at the time being. Of course, Jamie Chadwick, a Williams test driver, so has got a little bit of Formula 1 experience, drives these cars in the simulator for Williams. So, and Louis Delatraz is also a reserve driver for the Haas team. So both these guys do have experience with Formula 1 teams, but Louis Delatraz, unfortunately, not really close enough to challenge Jamie Chadwick at this early stage of racing. But unlike the first time round that we did the Versus series, drivers do get a second chance. It's not just one and out. There is a best of 3. Jamie Chadwick crosses the line, takes the victory in the first race, and that's got to look very good for herself, Andy, taking the victory from the off.
Yeah, it's good to get that first one straight away on the mark. So yeah, that relieves a little bit of pressure for her getting that first one, because obviously we saw she lost last week in the last 16. So she'll be looking to go one better and move into the quarterfinals. So good start for her, and she'll be looking to try and put that one to bed 2-0 as soon as she can, rather than go the distance. But yeah, very good start.
What has Louis got to do in this next race to really put the pressure on Jamie going into the final one?
Well, I think he really needs to lead from the front. I think he really needs to get himself ahead into that first corner and then try and control it from there. We saw Jamie last week made the spin, win behind, but obviously she's got that extra little bit in her pocket now, having won that first race. So she doesn't need to go diving in, but Louis just got to make sure that he is the car at the front. And if he's not, he's going to be in real trouble, because he could be going home early. And that's the joy about this format, Aidan. It's knockout. If you don't perform right away, you're going home. See you later.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is the case. I am looking out at your donations throughout the night, so feel free to leave a name as well, and I will give you a shout out during this stream. So thank you to Mr. 539 for the £5 donation. Of course, any little helps, no matter how small the donation that you make. Like I said earlier, it can go a long way to help support the families and children that are currently suffering with coronavirus and in this tough time. So we're supporting UNICEF here. You can donate by checking out the link in the description on YouTube, and also the panel section in Twitch. And just if you want to find out, just type !donate, and it will come up in the chat, live chat. So that's how you guys can get in touch. Got another one come in from here. Oscar Taylor with a £20 donation. So thank you very much to everybody who has currently donated. We're currently at £1,554.83p. So it's really shooting up at the moment, which is amazing to see. Getting closer to the 2,000, which is, of course, where we're going to be unlocking the next giveaway. We should be getting underway with the next race. It's going to be Jamie Chadwick, Louis Delatraz again. This is another tweet that's come in from at Bodov. Watching it from Germany, #NotTheGP at Veloce Esports. So thank you very much wherever you are currently watching this. We are glad to be putting on this show for anyone who's currently stuck at home. Remember, stay safe, stay indoors, and you can help save lives. Andy, it's going to get exciting, isn't it? Jamie Chadwick versus Louis Delatraz, and with the rest of the races to go on, would the pressure really be building at this point? Is the weight helping or making it worse until the next race?
I'd say the weight makes it worse. You want to get straight in there and jump into the race and, get focused, because, the weight is terrible. It's the worst part about anything. You just want to get in there, focus, and then go for it. And so, I saw Lando Norris' stream. I watched it back the other week there after it, and I could see him shaking. He was saying that it was so tense. And, it's mad to see that these Formula 1 drivers that compete at the highest level under the most pressure still get concerned and worried about an esports race. It's great to see. They're right up for it, and it means a lot to them.
Well, we spoke to Lando Norris, and he said he in fact gets more nervous going into a sim race rather than jumping in a real live car. Not really too sure why that would be. Is there any reason that you think that could be, or is that just maybe something that Lando struggles with?
I'd say it's because they are the driver. They are known as, the real life driver. I think that puts an extra bit of pressure on them, perhaps. But it's just slightly unfair that it puts that pressure on them, because a lot of these esport drivers and content creators like Ben play the game an awful lot. So it actually gives them a slight advantage, the likes of Ben. So yeah, I can understand why they've got that little bit of pressure there as well. But yeah, Lando came up trumps last week and delivered, so he'll be looking to do so again. As will many of the F1 drivers. We've got 5 this week, Hayden. It's incredible.
It is incredible. A few people wanting to see Lando Norris go up against Thibaut Marduk in the final once again today. Sorry that I couldn't quite catch the name. But Andy, into the second round of this Chadwick versus Delatraz. Off you go.
Well, here we go then. Delatraz really needs to get this victory, and he's got the start he needs. He's leading into that first corner and leads by a good distance, but it's gone a little bit wide, and that could be key. A 2-second time penalty for Louis Delatraz going through that first corner, running extremely wide, and we are on strict rules. And look at this, Jamie Chadwick is not content to sit behind Louis Delatraz. It's almost Leclerc versus Verstappen up at the top of the hill. Side by side they will go then, down this long straight towards the braking zone. This has got to be the final good overtaking opportunity on the lap. Here we go, side by side, and Jamie Chadwick has the lead. She doesn't need to drive too offensively, she does, and Delatraz is forced wide and off the track, and Jamie Chadwick should have this one in the bag with that Delatraz 2-second time penalty in the opening few corners. So towards the end of the lap, Jamie Chadwick with a solid 2.5-second lead, plus the 2 seconds for Delatraz running a little bit wide, and that should be in the bag. And 2-0, but it looked like it was a touch rude on the exit of the corner there, Hayden, wasn't it?
Yeah, very close between those two drivers. But there we go, Jamie Chadwick taking the victory and also securing herself into the quarterfinals. Very exciting. She was disappointed with herself last time out up against Willany. Had a few mistakes in Brazil, maybe the pressure just getting to her on the off. Never really done any sort of sim racing too much before, especially not on F1 2019. So it was difficult for her, but this time showing that she does have that speed and beating Louis Delatraz to put herself into the quarterfinals. Very, very good stuff from Jamie. And during that, we hit £2,230.87. That is absolutely incredible. Thank you to everyone who has been donating at home. But Andy, what a race that was.
Yeah, fantastic. Jamie did really well there. And, Louis Delatraz getting that 2-second time penalty in the first corner, went too deep into the corner. And, Jamie just had to sit there, didn't have to do anything aggressive, whether she knew or not, I'm not too sure. But, she still went for it. She still was really aggressive and wanted to make sure that she came out on top on the racetrack. And she did that. And she goes through and goes one better than last week. So she'll be delighted. But look what we've got coming up next. Lando Norris against Callum Ilott. So that's going to be a fantastic battle, that one.
That is going to be very exciting. Not really too sure on the ability of Callum Ilott because we have not seen him before. We had seen Jamie Chadwick last time out in the Versus series, and we've seen Louis Delatraz before in our other not the GP races. So this one is going to be exciting, Andy.
Well, here we go. We're underway already, and Callum Ilott is going to lead this one through the first corner. Takes a little cut as they begin to climb up the hill. Then look at the defensive move there from Ilott, determined to not let Lando Norris get alongside. Norris then going down the outside. Is he going to be able to find a way round the outside? It's going to be tough. It's going to be all about trying to get that switch back, isn't it? But no, there's no way through. And it looks like Callum is going to continue to hold that lead as Lando Norris tucks in behind the Ferrari into the slipstream. He's going to have to go the long way round. Can he go right round the outside the Ferrari? No, he can't. Ilott was a little bit deep though, and Lando Norris will sneak and just underneath the Ferrari. He couldn't quite make the cutback work up at turn 3. He did at turn 4, and the winner last time out takes the lead. And it looks like he's surely going to have it done, is he? No, Callum's still trying to come back. Ilott diving for the inside, but he's unable to find a way through. And surely with just a couple of corners to go, Lando Norris is going to draw first blood in this opening race. Round the final couple of corners they will come. Ilott off the track, trying everything he can to get onto the tail of that McLaren, but it's not going to be. Lando Norris takes the victory in the opening race, and the champion from 2 weeks ago is off to a flying start, Hayden.
That's exactly what he needed. He needed to get off to a good start. The pressure is on him being the champion from last time around. To lose out to Callum Ilott in the first round would put the pressure on his shoulders. So he's done a fantastic job to get himself ahead, but it's not job done. There's still 2 races to go. Callum Ilott can very easily get in this fight. He was very close there with Lando.
Absolutely. Yeah, he was really up for it. It was a really good fight. I think he'll be disappointed, Callum, about outbreaking himself into turn 4. He gave Lando an opportunity there that initially up at turn 3 he had covered. So yeah, I think he'll be desperate to try and get back ahead. But obviously Callum started on pole there, so I think Lando will now have the advantage for the next race. So Callum's really got his work cut out if he wants to take this one the distance. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing how it goes, because that was another really close race, and this has started exactly as we mean to go on.
This is a track that presents quite a few overtaking opportunities. You've got, obviously, the run down in towards turn 1. You can try and get ahead if you get a good start. But then you've got the long run to turn 2, and then also the other long one to turn 3. So there are plenty of opportunities to get back past one another. So it's not over and done with if you don't get into turn 1 first, do you?
No, absolutely not. I mean, you could actually find yourself ahead up at the top of the hill and then overtaken again moments later. It's a great track to go on, and that's obviously why we've chosen it for the races. And, we're seeing already that it's classic, and it's one of many great tracks we've got this week. We've got Canada as well. You can race right up to the final corner on that track. And, of course, USA and Brazil, Britain, as we mentioned earlier. We were in Brazil last week, of course. But, yeah. Looking forward to seeing how this one goes. But I've got to say, Lando off to the perfect start, and it looks pretty likely, I would say, that he's going to close this one out 2-0. Hayden, what do you think?
Yeah, he looked very strong right on the back of Callum Ilott, but don't count out Ilott just yet. He was right on the back of Norris. He could maybe make it 1-1, and we could go to our first final showdown of the night. We've got a new top donator, but the race is underway, so I'll update you after. Andy, over to you.
Yeah, here we go then. So Callum Ilott, as I mentioned, he's got his work cut out. He needs to get this move done immediately. As they go through the first corner, he's unable to do it through the first turn. Is he going to get a penalty for running wide? No. The stewards in the game are a little bit more lenient for Callum then, as they go climbing up the hill towards the braking zone at the top of the hill, turn 3, and it's still Lando Norris leading. Ilott then diving to the outside to try and get that good exit, but Lando Norris has it covered. I think Callum might have had to back out of the throttle there, perhaps, as they were running down the hill. So now, can Callum do what Lando did to him on the previous lap round? Let's have a look. No, looks like Lando's got that perfect there. Didn't go wide, didn't make the mistake Callum did, and he should be safe from here on in. But you never know. Callum, on that last lap, was right on his heels to the finish line. Is he going to be able to stick one up the inside here? Oh no, 2-second time penalty. And that should be that. Lando Norris should be able to coast home now, and that will see him take the victory, unless he makes a major mistake in the final couple of corners, which he doesn't do. So Lando Norris comes up to the line, and he will be safely through into the last 8, Hayden.
There we go then. Lando Norris into the quarterfinals. He will be going up against W Series champion Jamie Chadwick. That is going to be a very exciting race indeed. 2 young British talents going up against each other in a head-to-head battle. Very exciting. As I was saying before the race got underway, we have a new top donator from the Tavita family. Of course, Ryan Tavita, F2 driver, did take part in the not the GP. I think it was Oz, possibly even Bahrain as well. But £250 donation from him. Amazing stuff. Thank you very much. That is absolutely incredible. Some other donations that have come in from Juiced Tukler, £20 as well. And don't forget, you can get involved too with tweets using the hashtag #NotTheGP. Lando Norris, though, second person, because of course we've got a woman in the quarterfinals already. Lando Norris joins her in the quarterfinals too. That is going to be exciting, Andy.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing that one as well. It's going to be a fantastic battle there to see who can come out on top. Of course, Jamie, first time getting into the last 8. Lando, of course, all the way to the final last time round. So, can Jamie dethrone the king from a couple of weeks ago? That's a good opportunity for her to do that. So, really excited for that one. But, well, how long till we see us go the distance with a three race.
We'll get there in the end.
Three heats, sorry. But yeah, Sasha Fenestraz against Enzo Fittipaldi. Will that be the one, Hayden? Goodness me.
This could be. I mean, these are 2 junior drivers. Sasha Fenestraz, Japanese F3 champion. Enzo Fittipaldi, of course, an FIA F3 driver. So this could be the one to go the distance. 2 very closely competitive drivers. Who is going to come out on top? Who's your money on, Andy, for this one? Or is it too close to call?
It's difficult. It's difficult for me. I've not seen much of Enzo Fittipaldi to know what he's like on the F1 game, so I'm not too sure. We saw Fenestraz a couple of times, and I think I think Fenestras has got some good pace. So, I think it's an unknown quantity, this one, Hayden. We're going to have to wait and see. But obviously, having seen Fenestras, we know he's relatively quick. So I would go for him at this stage. But we'll have to wait and see when they hit the track. But I'm sure Enzo Fittipaldi will be up to speed and he'll make it a fantastic contest.
Fenestras is a very quick driver. We saw last time out, he unfortunately got Lando Norris in the first matchup. And it was very close between the two of them. It took a sensational dive from Lando to get the job done and put himself into the quarterfinals. So Sasha will be looking to try and redeem himself this time around. But Enzo, being the dark horse, no one really knows what he's about, could easily put himself into the top 8. So it's very, very exciting. And that is why this format works so well.
Yeah, exactly. It's just so difficult to predict. You've only got one lap to nail it. If you make one mistake, that's it, you're out. And we almost saw that, as you said, from Lando Norris a few weeks ago. Here he is, the champion 2 weeks ago. He could very easily, if he made the mistake, not have been the champion. He could have been out straight away and it would have been Fenestras through. So that just shows you how important it is to get things right and ensure you get yourself through. As we mentioned, you get that extra bit of leeway as it's now best of 3 as opposed to just best of 1 in the last 16 stage. So yeah, hopefully this will be the first one to go the distance here, because as I said, unknown quantity, we don't know what to expect. It should be a cracker, but I've got to say, I'm looking at that donations bar. It's rising and rising, Hayden. How long till you end up with some blue hair?
Well, we are just over 1,000 away before I've got to get out the blue hair dye and get cracking in the bathroom to sort that out. But a few donations coming in here. One from Jonathan, £10. Thank you very much. Like I said before, anything that you can donate is amazing. One from Malfunction02, £1 donation. Doesn't matter how big or small the donations are. £32 is all you need to hook up a medical person with some equipment for protection, as we are getting our first battle between Enzo Fittipaldi and Sasha Fenestras underway. Fenestras coming, attacking Fittipaldi there, Andy.
Yeah, it looks like a really good battle at the top of the hill there, side by side. Fittipaldi on the inside, they're banging wheels. Oh, goodness me, it's like pedestrian pace through there as they trade paint between the Mercedes and the Ferrari. But it's Fenestras that is in second place at the moment, but he is in the slipstream and he is going to pull to the outside. Can he sweep right round the outside of that Ferrari driver? He's going to try everything he can. He's going to get forced right out onto the curb, and this is definitely the best battle we've had so far. Fittipaldi covers the inside line and Fenestras again tries the outside line, but there's no way through, and Fittipaldi holds firm, defends strong, and retains the lead of this heat. So all the way down towards the end of the lap, who's going to come out on top? It looks like Fittipaldi. It's very difficult for Fenestras to make a move, but he's trying into the braking zone, but there's no way through, and Enzo Fittipaldi takes the first race then. So there you go. He is up to speed, Hayden Gullis.
He really is. That is maybe the first shock of the night. No one really know what Enzo Fittipaldi could do, and he's taken the victory against Sasha Fenestras. Now it's all on Fenestras. He needs to get back into it if he wants a chance to get into the quarterfinals. He missed out last time around. This time he's going to really want to try and get in, isn't he?
Yeah, of course. You don't want to be the one that misses out in the last 16 on both occasions. We've saw Jamie overcome that hurdle already and get herself into the last 8. So, of course, Fenestras will be looking to go one better as well. But 1-0 down to Enzo Fittipaldi, the youngster, putting in a fine performance and gets that win. But that was a really good battle, wasn't it? We saw up at the top of the hill, they were banging wheels. There's a bit of dodgems into turn 3, but then they sorted themselves out and made some really good, nice action into turn 4 and 5. And in the end, it was Fittipaldi that was the lead car. And as we've seen already, Hayden, if you're the lead car going into turns 5, 6 and 7, you're usually going to come out on top. Well, everyone that's been leading at that point has come out on top so far, because it's very difficult to make a move after that.
It is indeed, but if you do get a great exit out of the final left, then you can really slingshot yourself into the last couple of corners to maybe make a move up the inside, or if you are daring enough, go round the outside. Who knows? This could be 1-1, and then they go into the last race, and someone needs to send that move right at the end, don't they? Because, if you don't make it, you're out.
Yeah, we've seen that already, haven't we? We've seen Esteban Gutierrez last week with Lando Norris at the final corner, didn't we? Just went hell for leather, and the two of them collided, didn't they, down at the Casio Triangle in Japan? So yeah, we might see some of that. Hopefully we don't. Hopefully the stewards aren't too busy this week. But yeah, you know what? As we keep saying, it's do or die. If you don't win, if you're Sasha Fenestras here, it's a second successive week with an early bath, isn't it?
It is. We've got another tweet come in here from this time at ibenjamor. And this is hashtag not the GP. What a good way to spend a Saturday night. And they have got it on their TV. Thank you very much for supporting this event, and also anyone who is currently supporting with the donations. Don't forget that you can donate yourselves. Anything that you can give would be absolutely amazing. Just by finding the link in the description. There'll also be a link in the panel section if you are on Twitch. Or just type in !donate in the chat to find out how. And you can also get in touch with us by using the hashtag #NotTheGP on Twitter. Look at that counter, nearly at the 3,000 marks. We're getting underway for the second race. Andy, back over to you.
Yeah, and it looks like Enzo Fittipaldi has got the jump going into that first corner, and that could be crucial. It's a decent gap, around 0.4 of a second. Oh no, Fenestraz is round into a spin, and that is that then. So that is the first race we've had so far that should be over pretty easily. We've seen quite a few of these last week. We had a bit of a slow burner, didn't we, Hayden, last week in the last 16 phase? A few cars spinning under the pressure of that one race format. But this is actually the first race we've had so far where someone spun and it's been a certainty from the outset. So a shame for Sasha to make that mistake, but it looks like Enzo Fittipaldi is going to be going through to the last day on debut.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, last week we saw it, I think, because, there is no warm-up race. There's no chance to warm yourselves up. You're straight into it. Maybe we're seeing the same there with Sasha Fenestraz. There's no real proper warm-up race. There's no qualifying to get yourself into the groove of things. And unfortunately, being thrown straight in there, the mistake was made. The pressure was on him from the off after losing out to Enzo in the first race. And here comes Enzo round the final corner now. And it looks like he is going to take the second victory and move himself into the quarterfinals. There we go. Enzo Fittipaldi is into the quarterfinals, and he will be up against either one of our next two batters. That's going to be Arava, who is an F1 YouTuber with 300,000 YouTube subscribers, and he's going up against Charles Leclerc, F1 driver for Ferrari, 2 wins to his name in Formula 1, and also 7 pole positions. That has got to be a very exciting race to go on in front of us. Arava is really going to have it today. It's going to be a difficult race for him up against Charles Leclerc.
Absolutely. I mean, this is a box office race, isn't it? And there's going to be so much interest in this one. Obviously, Charles Leclerc being the Formula 1 driver that he is for Ferrari with a couple of race victories against the big YouTuber, Arava. I mean, I'm really looking forward to it. But I've got to be honest, Aidan, I don't hold out much for Arava. I don't. I really fancy Charles Leclerc to get the victory here. Personally, for me, he's probably the favourite overall to win the entire thing. So, he's certainly going to be one to watch. Arava is really going to have his work cut out. But you never know. We've already, you can see a surprise. You can always get a surprise. And if Arava can deliver here, it would be some shock.
You never know. Arava is very good at defending. If he can get in front early on, he can possibly defend against Charles Leclerc. He loves his switchback of dreams overtakes. So maybe, Charles sends up the inside. Arava just gets him back with the switchback and the straight line speed down the next straight. So who knows what could go on between these two. But yes, Charles Leclerc is looking like the favourite for this event. Really performing in the last few events that we've seen. We've seen him in the virtual GP. We've also seen him in his in the race for the world that they've done during the last week or two as well. And he won that. So Charles Leclerc has come into this game and has been absolutely phenomenal. So he's certainly got to be a hot favourite for the series.
Yeah, he's a real competitor. He's a fierce competitor, isn't he? He has to win, and he's shown that already, as you mentioned. First time he's appeared in the Veloce, not the GP, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do. But yeah, because of what he's done already, Hayden, in such a short period of time, he has to go in the favourite, doesn't he? He does, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what he can do. But as you said, Arava, can he get one of those switchback moves to stick and really take it to a Formula 1 driver? Because he'll be looking and trying his very best to get that move done and try and at least take 1 heat off him, if not 2.
I would love it for him if he can take it to 2-1. If he can get a 2-1 in this race, he would be so happy with that result. We have hit £3,000 on the donation. So thank you very much to everyone who has donated so far. This is one from Jonas Egel. Thanks for the entertainment in these tough times. Keep it up. Also, can think the I don't know what that part says. We'll go on to the next one. Lewis, thank you guys for the entertainment. Really missing F1. Looking forward to see all the cars back on track. Cheers. Thank you to both of those for your donations, and of course everyone who has donated throughout the night. 3,000 is a mega achievement. That is incredible. Tweet coming in this time from @Warden Tweets @Veloce Esports #not the GP. If Arava doesn't spin, I will donate. Probably also donate if he does. Arav, it's up to you. Come on, man. Come on, we are resting on you. Do not spin in this race. He struggled quite a bit in online races, especially in our Veloce Esports Squad Sprint Series. Can he do it this time around? Let's go, Andy, for this battle.
Yeah, well, here we are on board with Charles Leclerc. He's got the jump into that first corner on Arava. Looked like Arava got a slow start and had to sweep across, but he couldn't cover it off. But here we go. Arava, the content creator, coming straight back at the Ferrari Formula 1 driver. Well, here we go. Side by side, Leclerc really late on the brakes. He's been here before, hasn't he? With a certain Max Verstappen. This time he comes out on top. He's down the inside and through on Arava. Now, what can Arava do? What's he got in his locker? He's right into the slipstream behind Charles Leclerc. Can he go round the outside? Leclerc is very, very confident on the brakes. Oh, that was superb braking from Charles Leclerc. Covered it off. Arava never even got a sniff going into that corner. And Leclerc surely now will have this in the bag. As we've said already, it's very difficult to make a move. But as Hayden mentioned, if you can get a good slingshot through this left-hander and into this right-hander, you might have a run. But I think Charles Leclerc might just be that little fraction too far ahead of Arava as they go into the final couple of corners. Arava absolutely on the rails through there, and Leclerc's a little bit wide, but it's going to be enough. Charles Leclerc takes the victory in the opening race, and wow, that was a fantastic battle between the pair, and Leclerc comes out on top. And I have to say, Hayden, that was a lot closer than I think many people would have anticipated.
Credit where credit's due. That was an amazing battle from Arava. He really held his own against Charles Leclerc. You know, put Leclerc under pressure at times. He had to really defend and really fight for that victory in the first round. I don't think this is over yet. We've got 2 races still to go. Arava has definitely got a chance to get one victory over Charles Leclerc. This could go down to our first third battle today.
Yeah, hopefully, because I mean that was probably the best race we've had so far, and probably in a race we didn't expect it, Hayden. But you know, we've got to give credit to Charles Leclerc. How late was he on the brakes on all 3 occasions there, into turn 3, into turn 4, into turn 1 as well? Absolutely fantastic, especially into 4. Arava, you could see he had it planned out. He was going to triangle that way around the outside, and Leclerc said, "Oh no, you don't. I'm going to brake late, and then on the exit the corner, when you're looking to get on the throttle and pull past, my car's going to be sitting right where I need it to be," and there was no chance for Arava to pounce. And that's what racing, real life experience does.
It certainly does. I mean, it was great, clean battling as well between the two of them. We've seen so many times Arava in squad sprint, for example, where he just hasn't been able to keep it clean. But he did fantastically tonight, battling an F1 driver who has really been performing on the game recently. Yeah. And he kept it clean. He got in a few battles. Unfortunately, just missed out. But Charles Leclerc, like you said, absolutely fantastic. And so late on the brakes. I didn't even know it was possible to go that late on the brakes. That was incredible. Well,
there you go, Hayden. There's a few tips for squad sprint for you. So maybe you can pick up a few better results in this squad sprint.
I think we've got a call after this and ask him for a few tips to get a bit faster.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, very impressive on the brakes. And Arava, he's going to have to try, because he will be behind in this race, because I'm pretty sure he started first there. He's going to have to try and find an inventive way to get up the inside, because it looks like Leclerc on that, if he forces him to the outside, it looks like it's going to be very difficult for Arava to find any way to get past. So he maybe try and do a Daniel Ricciardo dive bomb or something like that. Maybe pretend he's going left and then switch to the right. Maybe that's Arava's best bet to get the move done.
That probably is the best bet. We've got a tweet coming. This is from @Gef Samir. #not the GP. These races are just amazing. And you know what else is just amazing? We've hit £4,000 on the donations, which means I'm going blue hair. I'm dyeing my hair blue. We've got to do it now. Let's get into the second race, Andy.
Well, here we go then. Massive race for Arava if he wants to get himself back on terms with Charles Leclerc. And as you'd expect, Charles Leclerc leads them into that first corner. But can Arava get the run coming out of that first turn? Not quite. He was all over the curb, and Leclerc looks to be pulling away up to around 4, nearly half a second 4/10, half a second as they go into the braking zone. Is Anneva gaining? Oh yes, Anneva this time, the one that's late on the brake pedal. He's the one taking it to Charles Leclerc when he clips the rear of his car and is unable to get the traction coming out of turn 3, and Leclerc is looking pretty safe. Is Anneva going to send one from a long way back? Doesn't look like it. Leclerc just has to drive conservatively, and he should have this one in the bag. It was a really, really good first race, but Anneva on this occasion doesn't look like he's going to be able to fight back, or can he? Can he just throw everything at the final part of the lap to get back on terms with Charles Leclerc through the left-hander, then into the right? It really does catapult you out of this corner. It really is a roller coaster ride through that middle sector. It looks like Charles Leclerc, the Formula One driver, the Ferrari man, the two-time race winner, is going to come out on top here. Anneva trying everything he can to get back on terms, but it's not going to work. Charles Leclerc takes the victory, and he is through to the quarterfinals.
He sure is. He's going to be going up against Enzo Fittipaldi in the quarterfinals. Not as exciting, that battle between the two of them, as we saw in the first one. But he did try. He tried down in towards turn 2. Unfortunately, the exit just wasn't great for him into turn 3. And just unfortunately, just missing out for the rest of the lap. Just couldn't quite get the job done there. But as we said in the first one, credit where credit's due. Fantastic battling between the two of them. Someone really wanted me to dye my hair blue because we don't actually know who this person is because they donated it anonymously, but they donated £1,000, which is absolutely incredible. They are now our top donator, but that is incredible. So thank you very much to whoever that was who donated. We're currently sitting on £4,195.44p. So incredible tally. And we're only just getting started in these races. We've got a tweet come in this time from at Chris with a lot of numbers in his name. I hope that's not your phone number. Hashtag not the GP. Hayden, if we get 4,000, I will dye my hair blue. Everyone else, we must get the 4,000. No more, no less. Oh, God. People want that forfeit, and it will be coming in the next week. We're going to be dyeing this hair blue. It's quarantine. Nobody's hair is looking good at the moment. So, do you know what? Why not go blue? I reckon I can pull it off. What do you think, Andy?
Well, let's see. I'm looking forward to it, put it that way. Thanks to everyone for donating to it, for ensuring that happens. I was absolutely desperate for it. I was mentioning it earlier on, all fair, and we've got there. So thanks to everyone donating. Keep it up. A lot of big prizes up for grabs. So just keep donating, and hopefully we can reach that 10,000 target. But I'm just happy we've got Hayden with the blue hair. That's great. Will you pull it off, Hayden? I'm not sure. We'll see.
We'll have to wait and see. Of course, you can get involved if you can donate, if you can give anything at all. Link in the description on YouTube, and also look for the panel section on Twitter, or just type in !donate, and there should be a link on how you can donate over there. The next matchup then, Jean-Eric Vergne, 2-time Formula E champion, and he will be going up against George Russell, F1 driver for Williams. That's going to be an exciting one. Andy, who do you reckon is going to take the victory?
Well, the boss finally steps into the seat, doesn't he? Here we go. This is going to be an interesting one. I think George Russell is going to be the favourite here for me, Hayden. I think he's been playing the game a lot, much like the likes of Alex Albon, the likes of Charles Leclerc and Lando Norris. Like, they've been playing the game a lot recently, using their downtime to play it and get to grips with it. So for me, George Russell is the favourite for me in this one. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully it'll be a good battle, and hopefully Jean-Eric can prove me wrong.
Hopefully. Experience means one thing, but I'm hoping it doesn't here today. I'm rooting for the boss. I'm rooting for Jean-Eric. Come on, you can do it. For all of us at Veloce, get yourselves into the quarterfinal. That'd be absolutely incredible. But he hasn't really had the game for that long. So how quickly do you have to get up to speed? So it looks like we might have had a last-minute change, as maybe a few problems getting the drivers into sessions. So we have switched over Nicholas Latifi and Pietro Fittipaldi, who will be the next matchup. Of course, Nicholas Latifi, F1 driver for Williams, and Pietro Fittipaldi is the Haas Formula One reserve driver. So this is going to be another interesting battle, Andy.
Yeah, it should be another cracker. I'm looking forward to seeing Latifi out on track again. We saw last week he against Ben in the semi-finals had a really, really, really good battle. I enjoyed that one. Probably my favourite battle from the whole of last week at Suzuka. They were fighting all the way to the line, in fact. So, I can't wait to see the Canadian out there on the track again. And, I've got a soft spot for him. I hope he goes quite far, because I was impressed with some of the driving we saw last week. I thought it was really entertaining. So,
Yeah, we have. He has actually really impressed in the last few races that he's done. We've got another big donation coming this time from Paul Dunlop, £500. So thank you very much for that. That is incredible. He left us a message. Great work, guys. Love watching the show. Thanks to everyone for making it happen. Thank you very much for your donation, and thank you to everybody else who has been donating as well. You know, no matter how big or small, they all go a long way to helping the families that are currently suffering through these tough times. But yeah, Nicholas Latifi, Pietro Fittipaldi is going to be an interesting one. We don't really know too much about Fittipaldi's skill, and we saw that with Enzo, and he actually won. He beat Sasha Fenestraz, who we did back in that one. So maybe the two Fittipaldi boys could throw in a few surprises.
Yeah, maybe they've been sharing some tips with each other. Maybe they've really got up to speed really, really quickly. So yeah, I'm looking forward to see if Pietro can take it to Nicholas Latifi, because we know, as I've said, semi-final already for Latifi. So this will give us a really good measure of the pace of Pietro if he can take it to Latifi and beat him. Because if he can, and Latifi was in the semis last week, there's every chance Pietro could go all the way as well, Hayden.
He really could. I mean, there's such a huge amount of talent in tonight's event that it is so close to call. We've had our money on Charles Leclerc from the beginning, but there are some very quick drivers out there.
Oh, yeah, there is. I mean, there's so many. I mean, Latifi already is one of them. We've got five Formula One drivers with us this week. It really is incredible. But Leclerc, he's the favourite, without doubt for me. But, you know, you've got Lando, as mentioned, George Russell, Albon as well, all very quick. We can't forget Ben. We know Ben in the final last week. He was very quick, and he's a content creator. So, yeah, it's wide open. It really is. But here we go. Looks like we're going to go racing. Nicholas Latifi against Pietro Fittipaldi, and the lights are out, and we are racing. It looks like Fittipaldi leads this one from pole position, but Nicholas Latifi getting the jump into that first corner, and he will lead. So that's a big move there for Latifi as they go side by side down the hill, and then climbing back up towards turn 3. Turn 2, pretty much just a little kink, not much of a corner, flat out for these drivers. Fittipaldi then on the inside, and he's got back ahead of Latifi. Big move there from Fittipaldi. Where is Latifi? Is he right behind? Yes, he is. Ready to attack as they go down the hill towards turn 4. Fittipaldi, as many of the drivers ahead have done so far, covers that inside line. Latifi, though, is he going to be the first of them all to get it working round the outside? Yes, he is. We've been waiting, and finally someone has made it work round the outside, and it's the Canadian Williams Formula One driver, Nicholas Latifi, that makes it work. And he left Pietro standing still there, and Latifi is through up into the lead, and that is worthy of winning any heat. Just a couple of corners to go, and I can't see how Pietro can fight back from that, but Latifi's a little bit wide. He should get it under control, and across the line he will take the victory. And wow, what a race from Latifi. I said he was entertaining earlier on, didn't I, Hayden? And he did entertain us again. Phenomenal move, surely move of the night. If you guys watching in the comments, tell us, was that your move of the night? It was certainly mine. What about you, Hayden?
Yeah, that was incredible. So far, what a move. Round the outside. No one has even tried that move. They've gone for the switchback. Not only did he try it, he made it stick. What a fantastic overtake that was. We've got another tweet coming, this time from @J Deep Tweet. Hashtag not the GP. It's great to see current F1 drivers fighting it out on e-racing. Fantastic. Saves the planet, gives the adrenaline rush to viewers too. It really is incredible. But Nicholas Latifi, what a race from him. But Fittipaldi was no slouch. He was there. He was there. So this could be an interesting second round between the two of them.
Yeah, I think Pietro was on pole, though, so that does give Nicholas that slight advantage going into the next race. So, you know, Pietro's going to have his work cut out. He's going to be under a lot of pressure to get things right. We've seen already in one occasion in a race earlier on that when they were 1-0 down and they had to win, they made a mistake. I think it was it Fenestraz that made the mistake? I think it was earlier on that made it. Yeah, Fenestraz made a mistake when he was 1-0 down. So Pietro needs to make sure that he keeps things clean and tidy at the start. It's not all won and lost straight away. And if he can just follow Nicholas in the toe, if he loses out at turn 1, he might get that chance up the hill into turn 3, or of course into turn 4. So yeah, still plenty of opportunities for Pietro, and he showed, as we touched on already, he is more than capable of taking it to Latifi. And I think he'll be hoping to give Latifi a taste of his own medicine, because that was a sore one to take with that move around the outside. It was brilliant though from the Canadian.
It was really brilliant, but yeah, Fittipaldi will be a little bit downhearted that he allowed that to happen. But you know, it's going to be very close between these two. We haven't yet seen any match go to the third and final showdown. So Could this be the first one? Maybe.
Maybe, Hayden. I mean, it's surprising that we've not seen any go the distance yet, because every race we've had, pretty much, apart from one, has went right to the final corner, and you've not been sure who wins. But we'll find out if it will be the race that takes us all the way, and it is going to be Fittipaldi on pole again. Then Latifi starts alongside him on the run down to turn one. Pietro covers that inside line. Latifi tries to go back to the outside. There's no way through then as they go through that first corner and begin the climb up the hill. Then Latifi tucked right into the slipstream behind Pietro Fittipaldi. He's going to try and go to the outside. He's almost forced onto the grass there, side by side, up at the top of the hill. Who's going to come out on top on the exit? It looks like Fittipaldi. He squeezes Latifi onto the curb. Latifi once again is having none of it, and he pulls alongside. It's going to be a drag race down towards turn 4. The Williams versus the Haas. Who's going to break the leader? Will it be Latifi again? Absolutely no chance. Pietro is not having it happen twice in the same heat. So here we go. Pietro covering the inside. Latifi trying absolutely everything to get alongside, but Pietro Fittipaldi is holding his own. Latifi, he's found a route up the inside. What a move that is! And Fittipaldi ducks straight back underneath him to regain the lead. Fittipaldi knows he has to win this heat. Latifi trying around the outside again. Can he do it? No. And surely Fittipaldi's through. I've got a little bit of ghosting, a little bit of lagging, and I think as a result, Latifi is going to get to the flag first, and he does. And that is a sore one to take for Pietro Fittipaldi, and Nicholas Latifi does end up coming out on top, but that was a really sore one for Pietro to take.
Oh man, what a battle between those two. That was incredible. You could tell that everything was to play for between the two of those. I mean, Pietro, great defending this time around, stopping Latifi from getting that move done. But then Latifi going for an overtake into a place where you don't see people normally go for a move. Up the inside into the second left-hander. Of course, unfortunately, a little bit too deep, but then tried it around the outside into the last two. Latifi didn't have to go for it there. You know, he has another round, but Fittipaldi had to, but they both really wanted that victory. And in the end, Latifi got it, unfortunately, due to connection issues, possibly.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame for Pietro because he really fought well there. I mean, how good was that from Latifi? It's great to see. He loves going for these crazy moves. It's brilliant to see. He's so entertaining. Yeah, everyone else is like, yeah, turn 4's finished. Not Latifi. Turn 5, lines it up, slingshots up the inside into 6. He was unlucky, but it was, credit for going for it. And Pietro came back underneath them. But in the end, on the run down the hill, it was a little bit of a lag or ghosting or connection issues that cost Pietro. But, it was great. And probably that is now the best race of the night for me.
It really is. Here we got a battle. George Russell versus Jean-Eric Vergne, unfortunately, has already got underway. So we're coming to this one about halfway through. George Russell leading the way by quite a bit, Andy. Yeah,
George Russell looks like he's got this one under control. Not too sure if Jeff has made a mistake in the opening part of the lap, but it looks like George Russell 1.6 seconds clear here, and I think he knows himself. He just needs to be careful. It doesn't look like he's pushing too hard. Doesn't look as if he's touching any of the curbs, pushing, kicking up any dirt or grass. It just looks like he's keeping things under control, and he should come round the final corner up to the line, and George Russell should take the victory in the first heat of this last 16 tie between he and the boss, Jean-Eric Vergne. So George Russell takes that one comfortably, Hayden.
Yeah, he does. Unfortunately, missed out the start, so apologies for that, everyone at home. There's so many lobbies going on at the moment that it's quite difficult to try and keep up with everything that's going on. So everyone is working very hard behind the scenes. But unfortunately, we missed the battle at the start. Maybe Jean-Eric Vergne made a mistake, or maybe George Russell just got the better of him. George, for a really Spanish twang on that, didn't I? But unfortunately for Jean-Eric Vergne, not getting the victory from the off, but there's still 2 races possibly to go. He can certainly get back into it.
Yeah, absolutely. Every chance for Jeff to get back into it. I mean, the problem is we don't actually know what happened into that first corner. We don't know if Jeff genuinely doesn't have the pace or he made a mistake and he was ahead at any point. We'll have to wait and see how that pans out in the next heat. But still we wait for a heat to go all the way to the 3 legs. Will we get it on this occasion? We'll have to wait and see, but I'm pretty sure if we don't get it in the last 16 phase, we will get it as the competition hots up, because they're just going to get closer and closer and closer in terms of pace, because the faster drivers getting through towards the final, it's just going to get better and better. And Hayden, it's been brilliant already, hasn't it? It's been fantastic. It's only going to get better, and I can't wait to see how things shape up as we get into the latter stages.
It really will. I mean, we've still got 3 battles to go on in the round of 16 before we get into the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
We've had some fantastic races so far this evening, and a few honourable mentions as well. We've got a few donations coming in that's worth a mention, with a few messages as well. This one from Paul Stapley, £20. Thanks for the entertainment during our isolation. Keep up the good work. So thank you very much for that, Paul. This one has come in from Taylor, donated £1.23. You know, like I said before, no matter how big or small your donations, that would be incredible. You know, no matter how big or small. I've just had an update, and we will be redoing the Fittipaldi versus Latifi match because it was unfortunately decided by connection issues. So to make it fair, we are going to give Fittipaldi another go at it, but it will happen after the George Russell versus Jean-Eric Vergne battle. So we get to see this one first. We get to see who is going to take the victory here, and then we're going to find out who they're going to be battling against as we redo that one. But thank you to everyone who has currently donated during this stream. We're very close to the halfway stage of £5,000. Of course, our target for tonight is 10,000. If we can get that, that'll be absolutely incredible. But if we don't, you know, the money that you've raised so far is amazing, and we cannot thank you guys enough. If you do want to donate and you do want to get involved, then check out the link in the description on YouTube, and also the panel section if you're watching on Twitch, or just type in the chat !donate. And if you want to get involved on Twitter, you can use the hashtag #NotTheGP, and we will be reading out your tweets throughout the rest of the night. Right, Andy, Jean-Eric Vergne, do you reckon he can get back into this, or is it going to be a bit too tough?
That's the thing, it's an unknown quantity, isn't it? It's very difficult for us to say because we didn't see the start of the last race. We don't know what his pace is like previously anyway, because we've not really seen him play the F1 game. So I'd say we're in the dark about this one even more than any of the other ones that we've not seen drivers in, because we haven't actually seen how that start panned out in that first race. But yeah, looking forward to seeing who can come out on top. But I still maintain what I said before the first heat, and that is that George Russell would be the strong favourite. We've got another tweet coming in, don't we, Hayden?
Yes, this one is from @TripGerwin. So hashtag #NotTheGP. Enjoying these races with some snacks at Veloce Esports. So just watching at home, got some snacks, got the tea on, I think that is maybe, or no, that's just snacks in a bowl. But enjoying it nonetheless, and we can't thank you enough for your support at home. We've got quite a few rounds still left to go. We've got Nicholas Latifi up against Pietro Fittipaldi. I think I had word in my ear that Jean-Eric Vergne has lost, so I'm not too sure what has gone on behind the scenes. We will get more information to you guys as soon as we get it, and we can keep you updated. But Nicholas Latifi versus Fittipaldi, round 2. We saw this is very close, and it looks like it is going to be. As I hand over to you, Andy, let's go.
Well, I'm absolutely delighted that we're going to get to see this all over again, because it was the race of the night so far, and we're getting to see it again thanks to the slight connection issue. So here goes Pietro Fittipaldi up behind Nicholas Latifi. Is there anything he can do to get alongside? They're very close again. Again, there's a little bit of connection issues, and there's a spin. Round goes Nicholas Latifi, and is Pietro Fittipaldi slowing down perhaps? No, he's going to carry on his way. So 2 seconds between them. Fittipaldi looks like he's going to take the victory in this one, but will there be a stewards inquiry? We'll have to wait and see. But, you know, it's so difficult because the car in front of it has that little connection issue. It's difficult. And Fittipaldi spinning Latifi around, and Latifi goes into a spin. But, you know, it was difficult for Pietro there. The car was showing up as a ghost, and he continued as if it was a ghost, and this car ended up spinning Latifi. So a difficult one there for Pietro as they come up to the final part of the lap. It looks like Pietro is going to win this one on the racetrack, and that should tie things up at one leg apiece, and we will go into a decider. So Fittipaldi round the final corner, up to the line. He wins heat number 2 in this last 16 matchup between he and Nicholas Latifi, Hayden.
Yes, it's a tough one to call because of the decision, and it's gone, in fact, to Nicholas Latifi. He takes the race win because of the collision between the two. Very unfortunate, very unlucky there for Fittipaldi. You know, connection issues. He thought the car was ghosted, but there was contact made between the two of them, and I believe that means now Latifi is securely in the quarterfinals, Andy.
Yeah, Latifi securely through. I suppose with the spin, it makes sense that Latifi goes through now. It's a sore one for Pietro because I'm pretty sure that Latifi's car was actually showing as a ghost, and he felt it allowed him to drive through him. So, you know, unfortunately Pietro, but nonetheless, through goes Latifi, and I think a lot of the neutrals will be happy with that because he is so entertaining, as we've seen already. He provides so much excitement, and he marches through into the quarterfinals, and I'm looking forward to seeing how far he can go, and where he tries to invent moves up the inside to make a move next, because he sure likes to go for a move left, right and centre, doesn't he?
He really does. He knows this is a show, and boy is he putting on a show today. Some great overtaking opportunities that he has presented himself, and he's taken them. Andy, we have hit £5,000 on the donations, halfway there to our £10,000 targets. That's absolutely incredible. We can't thank anybody who has donated enough for your efforts today. It's been incredible. So that is amazing. But we've still got a lot of racing left to go, so there's still plenty of time to possibly get to that £10,000 target. Alexander Albon versus Thibaut Courtois, a Red Bull F1 racing driver versus a Real Madrid goalkeeper. What a weird matchup this is, but it could be exciting, couldn't it, Andy?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. It's a really high-profile matchup, isn't it? Formula One driver against the Real Madrid goalkeeper. And, I heard that these two are actually teaming up in the virtual GP tomorrow night. So, rivals tonight, tomorrow night, they're teammates. So, yeah, let's see how that one pans out. Are they going to fall out before their teammates? Let's have a look and see. But, it should be a great fight. We know that Thibaut Courtois plays the game a lot. We know he is a big gamer and really enjoys the Formula One series. And, he's pretty quick. So you'll be looking to take it to the Red Bull Racing driver. And who knows, he might be able to provide a shock.
Potentially. I mean, a lot of people probably thinking, he's a footballer, he can't be quick at this game. Alexander Albon has got this. But, as you said, he has played the game a lot longer, I think, than Alex, because Alex has only picked up recently. He is quick as well, so don't judge him. Don't write him off just yet, but he is quick as well. We've got another tweet coming, this time from @TXRFX Ketty. I'm terrible at pronouncing names. Hashtag not the GP at Veloce Esports. Enjoying the head-to-heads whilst catching up, and I missed the rest of that tweet. So sorry, but thank you guys for getting in touch. And you guys can get in touch at home by using the hashtag not the GP. And if you are only just joining us and you have missed the races that have already gone on, we've seen some fantastic racing so far tonight. Then highlights of all of tonight's races will be on the Veloce Esports YouTube channel very, very soon. So you can go catch up there if you have missed them. But we will soon be getting into this tasty battle between Alexander Albon and Thibaut Courtois. Who's going to take it, Andy?
Well, I said that Courtois is quick, but the Formula One driver, Alex Albon, he has started to play the game more recently. He's starting to get on top of things. So, with that racing experience and background, you've got to back the Formula One driver. But, I'm excited to see what Thibaut can do. And who knows, maybe he'll try and get a leg off him. We'll find out, though, as the 5 red lights come on and we are racing. They're side by side. They're both in the Red Bull, probably as they're both racing as teammates tomorrow night. It's going to be Alex Albon that will lead them off the grid. Then he leads into that first corner. Courtois will have to tuck into the slipstream. Can the goalkeeper find a way through as they make their way out of that first corner? Albon looks like he's got a solid advantage. Maybe Courtois just got a little bit out of shape on that curb, as Albon has a commanding 8/10 lead. And over 1 lap distance, 8/10 is quite a margin then. So is there anything Courtois can do to get closer? Doesn't look like he's in a good exit again coming out of that second turn. And it looks like Albon has this one in the bag. 1.5 seconds between them at the minute. And surely Albon just needs to keep things under control and he should pick up the win. But Albon leading this one from the front, Hayden, and looking like he's going to wrap this one up without too much trouble, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, 2 seconds off is Thibaut, quite a bit back, unfortunately. Not really putting the pressure on Albono 23 as his gamer tag is. But, it's best of 3. There are 2 races still left to go. Maybe he's hustling him. Maybe he's thinking, he's putting Albon in a full sense of security, thinking, you know what, this is easy. I'm going to get the job done on Thibaut Courtois. And he comes back at him in the next 2 races and takes the victory. Who knows? There could be some games being played out there. We saw it last time, didn't we? When we went to Spa and we saw Team Marduk and Lando Norris fighting over the DRS. Or the slipstream, because DRS is not actually activated in a one-lap race. My bad. But, there could be some mind games out there. You never know.
Yeah, well, you never know. I mean, Courtois not up to speed in that race, but I'm sure he can go quicker than that, of course. But yeah, it's an interesting that you mentioned that with the dicing with the slipstream. We might see that later on in some other tracks. Maybe Canada coming out of that hairpin when we go there next, because very good slipstream, very strong in this game. So you could always get that run down into that final chicane. So that'll be one to watch later on. But as for this battle at the minute, Albon getting that first leg, very commanding, probably the most commanding performance we've had so far from a driver, that hasn't led to a spin to another, when they've both been racing together. So, good job there from Alex, and he gets one up on his teammate for tomorrow night, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, we know Thibaut Courtois is a great goalkeeper playing for Real Madrid and, of course, Belgium, but can he save this race? Can he do it, Andy? We're going to have to wait and see. I couldn't help myself. I had to get the pun in there eventually. I know you've been waiting for a few of them yourself as well. Look at you. Was it that good? Was it a good one? Can I say that?
Yeah, it was good.
Yes.
Well, I had the Poulter one with the golf last week, didn't I? So, I'll give you this one.
But can he save it? Is there a chance for Thibaut Courtois to come back?
Well, there's always a good chance. I think as I've mentioned already, he's played on the game a lot. He plays it a lot. He's a very fast driver. I think he's been racing with Alex during the week and quite a few of the other F1 drivers, Thibaut. So he knows what it's like to go up against them. But in this 1v1 format, let's see if he can get back on level terms. He should be on pole this time. So let's see what his defensive skills are like and his goalkeeping skills are like. If there's any dives from the opposition driver, if he can cover it off and turn it around the post, we'll have to wait and see. So, looking forward to it. But I do fancy Alex Albon, though, Hayden, overall. I do think that he is the favourite as the 5 red lights are coming on and we are underway now. There's quite a long hold, but Thibaut Courtois leads them off the grid. A lot of tyre smoke there coming from his car, but crucially, he will lead into that first corner. So now we get to see how good his skills are behind the wheel. Can he defend from a Formula 1 driver? It looks like Albon is already pulling alongside Courtois and is through. That looked like a tactical move, didn't it, from Courtois? Did he back out of the throttle, perhaps, to sit behind? We'll have to wait and see. Albon covers the inside line. Courtois now will be in the slipstream. He's going to have to try something very special. Now, as we've seen many, many times before, the lead driver usually covers that inside, but not this time. Albon obviously feeling that Courtois was not close enough, and it's quite clear to see that he wasn't. But there's still time yet. We've seen some inventive driving and then some inventive moves from Nicolas Latifi. What can Thibaut Courtois do? Real Madrid goalkeeper trying to stick with Alex Albon, but at the moment, it doesn't look likely. It looks like Albon should have this one in the bag. The gap is extending out through that twisty section to around 0.6 of a second. Courtois certainly putting up a better fight this time, but it was not enough to overturn the Red Bull Racing driver, Alex Albon. And Albon will come up the line, and he books his place in the quarterfinals, Hayden.
There we go then. Alexander Albon into the quarter-finals for tonight. Incredible stuff from him. Unfortunate to see Thibaut Courtois once again go out at the round of 16 phase, but I'm sure he will be back. He loves playing this game. He loves getting involved, especially for such a good cause that we are running today, supporting UNICEF. I have a bit of information for everyone at home involving the Jean-Eric Vergne versus George Russell. Unfortunately, Jean-Eric Vergne thought he was out after the first race and just disconnected from the whole thing. So he agreed with George that George would get the win in that one. So unfortunately, Jean-Eric Vergne is out, and that does mean that George Russell will go into the quarterfinal against Nicolas Latifi. Alexander Albon has also booked himself into the quarterfinals. So we've already, in that side of the bracket, we've got 3 F1 drivers already into the quarterfinals, and looking to join them is the next matchup. And our final matchup for the round of 16 is going to be Arthur Leclerc, Charles Leclerc's brother, and also Ferrari Academy driver, F4 driver, going up against YouTuber, content creator, F1 content creator with 400,000 subscribers, Team at Marduk, Benjamin Daly. And of course, we know Benjamin Daly got to the final last round, so this could be an interesting one.
Yeah, I think this could be the tightest one yet. You think that's a fair shout, Hayden? We know Arthur Leclerc is very quick, almost as quick as his brother, if not as quick on the game. So looking forward to see how that pans out. But Ben, of course, finalist last time out, arguably could have won if he didn't let Lando through in that second heat last time out. So, looking forward to see how this one goes as the 5 red lights are on. And for the final time in Austria, well, the final battle in Austria, here we go then. It's Team Marduk against Arthur Leclerc, and Leclerc looks like he's going to go down the inside into turn 1, is he? Oh, Ben comes straight across him, covers it off, and that looks like it could be game over already. 6 tenths between them and extending. So Ben really shooting across the front there of Arthur Leclerc and getting that advantage then. So Ben leading at the top of the hill and is on course at this early stage to go 1-0 up. Can Arthur Leclerc do anything to get back into it? There's 8 tense between them as they go down the hill towards the braking zone at turn 4. But I think Ben should have this one in the back. A big lock up there from the Ferrari driver in front. And things are looking strong as he looks to book his place in the quarterfinals and go on and try and reach the final again. Leclerc with a lot of work to do then, but I don't think there's going to be any way for him to get back on terms in the final part of the lap. It's going to be 1-0 surely to Benjamin Daly, the Australian, the YouTuber, as they go down towards the final couple of corners. Ben around 8/10 clear of Arthur Leclerc, and round the final corner they go, and Ben will ensure he gets that first blood and he moves 1-0 ahead in the final last 16 matchup, Hayden.
Well, there you have it, 1-0 to Team Marduk in the battle against Arthur Leclerc. That wasn't as close as we thought it was, but we know that he is quick, Arthur Leclerc, so who knows what could happen. There's still 2 races potentially left to go. We haven't seen it go to the best of 3 at all so far in the round of 16. At all tonight. Could we see it here today between these two? I mean, there was a big gap between those two. Is Leclerc going to be able to get back into it, or do you think this is Benjamin Daly all over?
Well, I think going into that first corner, I think Leclerc was a little bit caught out. I think Ben kind of chopped to the front. Didn't quite cut across him. Well, he did cut across him, and I think Leclerc had to stamp on the brakes. There was no contact, but I think Leclerc was a bit caught out. I think the door was kind of open on the way into the corner, and just with the nature of how tight that turn is, Ben came across and Leclerc had to back out. And of course, if you're backing out into that first corner with a long run up the hill, you're going to lose momentum and the gap's going to build, and that's what happened there. So yeah, I don't think that was a fair reflection of what's to come, and I fully expect Leclerc to be on the case, and yeah, I think this could be the one that goes the distance, Hayden.
We are really hoping for. The more racing, the better for us. We've been missing it a lot, and we've been loving these virtual events that everyone's been putting on. So the more racing that we see between 2 drivers, the better. So we're hoping that Leclerc can get back into it and just have a little battle there with Team Marduk to take us all the way to round 3. Of course, both of these drivers looking to book themselves into the quarterfinal and taking on Alexander Albon. So Leclerc has experience of racing against Albon, as we've seen in the race for the world, but Team Marduk hasn't. So it would be interesting for Ben to get into that quarterfinal and take on Albon.
Yeah, it would be. Ben's going to have he's got a really tough side of the draw, doesn't he, to get through all these quality drivers. So yeah, he's going to have his work cut out if he is going to do it. But yeah, with Alex Albon in that side of the draw, and of course the 2 Williams drivers also in that side of the draw. I think that the winner of the bottom half, they'd meet one of the Williams drivers in the semis, wouldn't they? So yeah, it's a very tough side of the draw. Ben's going to have to go through several top drivers to get there. So yeah, the draw's not been kind to him, but as a finalist last time out, it's be hard to bet against him. But yeah, looking forward to this. Arthur Leclerc against Benjamin Daly. Who will come out on top in the second battle between them? I am going to go ahead and say Arthur wins this one, and we go to a decider. I'm pretty sure we will. I think Arthur won't be happy with that chop that Ben gave him into the first corner in that first heat. So I think it's going to be game on, and I think Arthur's going to bite back and make it 1 each.
I'll probably agree with you here. Arthur Leclerc taking it to the third round, and the third round of the 3, so possibly between these 2. But for Benjamin Daly, Team Marduk, I don't think he's too fussed about winning the event overall. As long as he gets a good title and a good thumbnail out of it, he'll be happy. We've got another tweet this time from Adam B. 2807, and I hope that's not your pin number. Enjoying the hashtag not the GP, hoping for at Team Marduk versus Charles Leclerc in the final. Now that would be tasty. Of course, they are on opposite sides of the bracket, so they can both get into the final. So that's going to be the long, hard way. Benjamin Daly is really going to have it cut out for himself. He's going to go up against one Leclerc here, who is quick, then Albon, then one of the 2 Williams drivers. And then on the other side, he's got the likes of Lando Norris, Jamie Chadwick. You've also got Enzo Fittipaldi and Charles Leclerc over there. So it just goes to show that there are so many talented drivers that we have got on show tonight.
Yeah, I'd say that right-hand side of the draw, the side that Ben's in, is probably the more open side. I think it's difficult to pick who will be challenging for the final there. I think certainly on the left, you're looking at the likes of Lando, you're looking at the likes of Charles. You'd say it's going to be one of them 2. But, on the other side, it really could be any one of them. It couldn't it? I mean, you look at it, Ben, Arthur, you've got the 2 Williams guys, Alex Albon in there too. Honestly, it's lucky dip. Good luck predicting who comes out on top there, because I think it's going to be very tight, and it's extremely open, and I just can't call it. But anyway, here we go. We're going to get one step closer to finding out pretty soon, because here we go. Arthur Leclerc against Benjamin Daly in the second leg in this last 16 stage, and looks like on the inside, down the inside and through was Arthur Leclerc. So he takes that lead that he so badly needs, because if he doesn't win this leg, he is out of here. He's going home. So here goes Thibaut Courtois to the outside as they climb the hill through the small kink of turn 2 and into the braking zone for turn 3. Braking late is Thibaut Courtois. Arthur Leclerc covering that inside line, forcing Ben out onto the curb. And he does really well there, Arthur. He knows he has to win, and he's proving it. He's showing it. He's getting desperate. So he forces Ben wide. Now can Ben try and fight back? He's going to try a Latifi. Can he do a Latifi? Benjamin Daly round the outside. He's made it work. They're trading between the two Ferraris. Absolutely incredible. Ben will now have the inside. Can he do it? They touch, and he's going to go round. Into the spin goes Ben. He stuck his nose into the gap, and it was a wedge that was disappearing, and Arthur Leclerc is going to come out on top in this second heat. And I called it, Hayden. It looks like we are going to go all the way to a final race, and that's exactly what we want to see, isn't it?
For the first time today, we've got a best of 3 finally. Here we go. Arthur Leclerc versus Thibaut Courtois, and the winner takes all as Ben drifts it around the final corner. You know, he's putting on a show. He is a content creator. He knows how to provide entertainment. And boy, did he there. Round the outside, he did try to do a Nicholas Latifi. Nearly pulled it off. Had the inside line into the next corner. Unfortunately, just a little bit too late on the brakes. And that caused him to touch Leclerc and send himself round. Disappointing for Ben, but Leclerc's going to be elated, and that's really going to help him into the final round between these two.
Yeah, it's fantastic. A lot of pressure on Ben, because as we said, he makes content, and of course, the further he gets, the better it is for him in his content. So a lot of pressure on him in that sense. And of course, as a former finalist, there's even more pressure. He can be very disappointed if he goes out, having been in the final last time out, and goes out at the first hurdle this time. So extreme amount of pressure on Benjamin Daly. Let's see how he can handle it, Hayden, because yeah, it's going to be quite the scrap between these two. And you know, Benjamin there, it was a good effort. It was a good effort. He tried the Latifi round the outside. He had the inside, but just couldn't quite get that momentum to propel himself alongside enough. And, you know, Arthur had the line for the corner. He turned in, and Ben just kind of slid slowly into the side of Arthur. And then from there on, he was a goner, wasn't he?
Yeah, after you said earlier on in the show, there's no real proper overtaking opportunities around this track that are easy to get the job done, apart from the run down in towards turn 2 and turn 3. You can make moves around the rest of the circuit, as we've seen people try and we've seen people do, but it's very difficult, and you have to get it spot on if you want to try and do that. So Ben, if he is starting behind, and he is behind in those parts, then we are going to see a very interesting battle between these two, because it's winner takes all. There are no get out of jail free cards here. It is winner takes all.
Yeah, of course. So that's it. We've had last week, of course, we had best of 1, and there was no get out of jail free cards. In this stage, we've obviously had best of 3, so everyone has had that one race where they can make a mistake, but obviously locked at 1-1, the first full-on decider. It is basically back to what we had last week, isn't it? It is basically one lap shootout, no hiding places. You have got to deliver on this one and only attempt, and I can't wait to see it. There's going to be fireworks, Hayden, because this one means so much, and we are about to go to the grid in a few moments' time. It is Arthur Leclerc against Benjamin Daly in the final last 16 matchup of the evening, to see who will join the rest in the quarterfinals. The 5 red lights are on, and we are go. Arthur Leclerc moves away from pole position, and moves away very quickly indeed. He sprints away and puts a couple of tenths between he and Benjamin Daly. Through that first corner they go, and it's still Leclerc holding a solid lead as they begin the long climb up the hill towards the breaking point of turn 3. Benjamin Daly, remember, finalist last time out against Lando Norris, doesn't want to fall at the first hurdle, but at the moment it looks like he's a strong favourite to fall, because Arthur Leclerc, after going through turn 3, has survived one of the main overtaking opportunities on this racetrack. Has he survived the second major overtaking spot? Yes, he has. And now Ben is going to have to get all Nicholas Latifi as the rear end slides on that Ferrari. Now we're beginning to see that desperation seep in, the pressure telling as he looks to get away through, and we've got a little bit of ghosting there, but it still seems, as it sorts itself out, that Arthur Leclerc is in front. Benjamin Daly is going to have to throw absolutely everything at the final part of the lap, but it looks to me like it's all over. Finalist last week, and it looks like he's going home at the very first hurdle. It's Arthur Leclerc who makes his way into the last 8. Benjamin Daly well, somewhat surprising, some would say, is going home and is out at the last 16 stage, Hayden.
We have our quarter finalists confirmed after our round of 16 racing. What a battle between Leclerc and Thibaut Marduk. Unfortunately for Thibaut Marduk, Leclerc takes the race win, but he's going to be very happy. Potentially, we could see Leclerc in the final. They're both through to the quarterfinals at the moment. That would be incredible stuff. But yeah, it's got to be disappointing stuff for Thibaut Marduk. Benjamin Daly, of course, got to the final last of around. Some great racing with the likes of Lando Norris and Nicholas Latifi, David Schumacher as well. So this time around, he is unfortunately out. But we've had some fantastic round of 16 battling, haven't we, Andy?
Yeah, there's some really good races there. It's very hard to pick a favourite battle, but I'd probably say Latifi against Fittipaldi was my favourite one. The one that eventually got rerun, that was fantastic. But there we go, Hayden. That is the bracket and the quarterfinal.
There it is. Yeah, the quarterfinals that will be taking place around the Canadian Grand Prix. We are going to take a short break now, but don't go anywhere. We will be right back for the quarterfinals. It's Norris versus Chadwick, Enzo Fittipaldi versus Charles Leclerc, Russell versus Latifi, Albon versus Arthur Leclerc. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Not the GP versus series. If you are only just joining us, we have already done our round of 16. We have 8 drivers now in the quarterfinals. Lando Norris will be taking on Jamie Chadwick, first of all. Then we have Enzo Fittipaldi taking on the Ferrari Formula 1 driver of Charles Leclerc. George Russell will be taking on his Williams teammate for 2020 of Nicholas Latifi. That's going to be exciting. And then we've got Alexander Albon taking on Arthur Leclerc. Very exciting names in the quarterfinals. Of course, tonight we are supporting UNICEF in the fight to help save families who are suffering through these tough times. So we are currently trying to raise money for them and for that. So if you can donate anything, even no matter how small it is, we will be very, very grateful indeed. So you can donate by using the link down in the description if you are on YouTube. If you're on Twitch, look for the panels down below as well. And you can also find out where to donate if you type into the chat !donate. But we're getting underway with the first race in the quarterfinals. It's Lando Norris versus Jamie Chadwick, and we are underway, Andy.
Here we go then, Lando Norris looking to get all the way to the final again. Can he overcome Jamie Chadwick as they go side by side through the first corner? We are here in Canada, of course. It's the quarterfinal racetrack of choice. So Lando Norris leading the way as they make their way towards the end of that first sector, sweeping down the hill, very close, of course, up against the barriers. It's a circuit that can bite you, and so far, both drivers able to navigate it safely through that first sector. Now, this is where most of the overtaking will be done in this section of the track, towards the end of the lap. So from the midway point towards the end. And Jamie Chadwick is remaining competitive, remaining close to Lando Norris, and she knows there's going to be a real opportunity towards the end of the lap to try and get through. And is that Lando Norris tactically moving over? No, it doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it. He was just out of shape, and Jamie Chadwick is going to go through on the outside then. So through the hairpin they go, and this is going to be a run to the line. This is what we love about Canada. Lando Norris pushing Jamie right towards the curb as they go side by side along past the water on the left-hand side. Who's going to go into the braking zone for the Wall of Champions first? It's going to be a dead heat almost into the braking zone. It's going to be Lando Norris that comes out on top through the chicane, and that will give him the run to the line, and he will take the first race in the quarterfinal, one leg up on Jamie Chadwick. But wow, that was a fantastic battle there, wasn't it, Hayden?
That really
went all the way.
That really did go all the way. It was incredible. Jamie Chadwick really holding her own against Lando Norris. Of course, he won last time out in our Versus series. So to go up against him and, almost beat him straight away, that is incredible. So I don't think this is over yet. I think we are going all the way to round 3 between these two. It's going to get very, very exciting indeed. Of course, Lando Norris, F1 driver at the moment for McLaren, and Jamie Chadwick, W Series champion. So both of them, up and coming British drivers, really trying to prove a point against each other, aren't they?
Yeah, doesn't matter if it's in real life or in the virtual world. They're determined to take the fight to each other, Hayden. And, we said it earlier on, didn't we? As we get further through the competition, the matchups are going to get tighter and tighter. And that's exactly what has happened here. Jamie Chadwick really improved from her first outing last week in the last 16, where she made a couple of mistakes. And is really on the pace and really took it to Lando Norris there. So she'll be on pole for the next race. And I'll be excited to see if she can fend them off and go all the way to this decider, because, I think we're going to see some tactical battling at some point as well over the course of the next few races, because, going into that hairpin, do you want to be ahead or do you want to be behind? I mean, that gave us no clues there, Hayden, because they were side by side into the braking zone at the end of it, weren't they?
They really were. I mean, I can't call this one between the two of them. It could go either way very easily. I just want to quickly apologise for the technical issues that we have been dealing with tonight. We're trying to get these races to you as quickly as we possibly can, but you've got to understand that a lot of these guys are unfortunately new to the software and to the equipment. They've only picked it up recently. And of course, we have got a lot of people from around the world. So connecting can be quite difficult. And unfortunately, some of the issues are out of our hands with the lag. As example, we've got a tweet though come in. This is from @TheLuca Not the GP. Lando versus Jamie. Regardless of the result, I'm happy to see those two reunited after their 2014 Ginetta season. Of course, these two are going to be a very exciting battle as we go on throughout the rest of this quarterfinal. The winner of this will go up against Charles Leclerc or Enzo Fittipaldi. We've got a lot of exciting quarterfinals coming up throughout the rest of the night. We've got a few donations coming in, quite a lot from you guys still, £5,211.44 so far raised. But we're getting into round 2 between these two. Andy, over to you.
Here we go then. Jamie Chadwick starts this race from pole position. Can she fend off Lando Norris and take us to a decider? I tell you what, she's got an absolutely flying start going into that first corner and holds a good advantage. But she's slightly wide going through turns 2 and 3, and Lando Norris will get back onto the tail then. So we'll sweep down the hill through this tight section. The barrier can bite you on the exit of the corner. Jamie Chadwick, whoa, look at Lando there. The back end all over the place in his determination to get ahead of Jamie Chadwick. Big slide, keeps it out the wall though, but the gap has increased to nearly a second now, 8/10, and things are looking good for Jamie Chadwick to try and force us into a decider. Remember, Lando Norris was the victor last time out. He is the Veloce versus champion from 2 weeks ago. Can Jamie Chadwick topple him off his perch? Let's find out as we go through the hairpin for the second time, and it looks like we'll be going for it for a third time because Jamie Chadwick has got a big enough advantage surely now to take us to a final. 9/10 between them. I don't even think Lando's close enough to pick up much of a slipstream, and Jamie Chadwick just has to be clean through the final chicane, negotiate the famous wall of champions, and she will be victorious. Lando Norris gets a 2-second time penalty for corner cutting, and Jamie Chadwick weaves across the line and levels it up at 1 leg all, and we go to a finale, Hayden, and I'm really looking forward to this. Quite the scrap between them.
Wow. Jamie Chadwick, incredible racing there, incredible lap from her around this Canadian Grand Prix circuit. Lando Norris didn't really have much to fight with, trying to throw everything and the kitchen sink right at the end, even cutting the corners to get that 2-second time penalty. I mean, you might as well go for it. If you are behind and, you know, you've got the chance to end the match overall because you've already got that first race win, you might as well send it, even if you are going to pick up a 2-second time penalty for that, because you never know what could happen. But Jamie Chadwick took the win, and we go into the decider. Yeah,
it's quite telling as well that Jamie Chadwick was the comfortable one there, and it was Lando Norris in the first race who was on pole position that wasn't comfortable. So Lando had the advantage first race, and Jamie was right there all the way, whereas Jamie had the advantage in the second race, and she kept that advantage, and in fact, you know, made it quite a commanding victory in the end. So does that make Jamie Chadwick favourite for the final race? I mean, you don't know. So from the 2 legs so far, she's been the more impressive, Hayden, hasn't she? It's hard to argue against that.
She has. I mean, you're not wrong. She has. Lando Norris, of course, was our winner last time around in the not the GP versus, but Jamie Chadwick, really quick out there, like really quick. So Lando is really going to have to get the bit between his teeth and go for it in this last race, because, you know, he surely can't get knocked out in the quarterfinals. We've seen Tiamat Marduk already knocked out in the round of 16. Are we going to see our other finalist and our winner gone at the quarterfinals? This could be incredible, but also incredible for Jamie Chadwick as well, if she can beat Lando Norris and move herself into the semi-final and potentially go up against Enzo Fittipaldi or Charles Leclerc.
Well, let's see if she can do it then. This could be a giant killing if she can come out on top then. We're expecting so much from Lando Norris, having won last time out though. So side by side into that first corner, and Lando Norris was on pole, and he does have the lead through that first section. So it is advantage to Lando as they go through that first sector once again. Now, Lando was out of shape on the exit of this section last time out in his desperation to get on top, but look how close he was to the wall there, leaving absolutely nothing on the table, grazing up against the barrier, and we've got half a second between them as we go through that first sector. Now then, this, as I mentioned already, is the area of the racetrack where we get most of the overtaking. This is where the straights are. This is where Jamie Chadwick can try and reel that gap in. Already down to half a second, and can she bring that gap in even further to mount an attack into the final part of the lap? We're now down to 0.4 of a second. Still Jamie Chadwick gains, and it looks like this is going to go right to the end. Through the hairpin they go, and now we begin the long run down towards the final chicane. Lando Norris has the advantage at the moment, but we need to have a look at Jamie Chadwick. Is she going to be able to pull alongside and get this back on level terms? Down towards the braking zone they go. 0.4, 0.3 between them, and I think Lando is going to do just enough as they come round the final corner up towards the line, and Lando Norris has done it. He survives a scare and goes through into the semi-finals, and he's still on course to make it back-to-back victories in Veloce versus Hayden.
Well done there to Lando Norris, securing himself into the semi-finals. Our first semi-finalist of tonight. But fair play to Jamie Chadwick. She took the fight to Lando Norris and nearly got him at the end. It was very close between the two of them. She did incredibly well to take on the winner last time around and nearly give him a scare there, didn't she?
Oh, yeah, she definitely gave him a scare. There's no doubt about that. It was quite the battle. And, it just proved that if you're that lead car, it can be that slight advantage. And it was in this case for Lando. Jamie, in that second part of the lap, as you'd expect, was starting to gain. But, she lost a little bit of time coming out of the hairpin. Perhaps she wasn't as clean as she'd maybe have liked through there. And I think that really ended her hopes. But let's have a look then at our next quarter-final. Enzo Fittipaldi against Charles Leclerc. The big names just keep on coming, Hayden, don't they?
They really do. Charles Leclerc, F1 driver for Ferrari, 2-time winner, 7 pole positions. And then you've got Enzo Fittipaldi. His career is just starting, but he has a very famous name. Let's get this race underway then.
Yep, here we go. It looks like, we're going to find out in a minute who's on pole. It's Charles Leclerc as they're both racing in Ferrari. So Charles Leclerc leads them down into that first corner from Enzo Fittipaldi in second through turn 2 they go, and Enzo Fittipaldi remaining relatively close to the back of that Ferrari at the moment. And of course, as we know, we weren't too sure what to expect from Enzo and his brother Pietro Fittipaldi, but we're seeing that Enzo does have some strong pace. We know that Charles Leclerc is the favourite here. We know how quick he is. We've seen it in other esport races, having picked up the game very recently, but he is very strong. So here we go, Charles Leclerc against Enzo Fittipaldi into that second part of the lap. 3.5 tenths between these two, and this one looks like it could go the distance. Look at Enzo there, really threw it into that part of that chicane there. Ran a little bit wide on exit, and it cost him, and he's now 4 tenths back. But as we go through the hairpin, it looks like it's going to be a run towards the line, but I think Leclerc might just have enough in his pocket. And look at that, making the weaving moves just to be absolutely sure that Enzo Fittipaldi can't get into the slipstream as much as he'd like, but he is still gaining. He's gaining very quickly into that final chicane. Not enough though. Look at that, almost pushing Leclerc through the final chicane. It's going to go right to the line. Fittipaldi's coming. He's coming quickly, but he's not coming quickly enough. And in the end, I think Leclerc's got it, although the game's saying, no, Leclerc did have it by 0.028. Wow.
That was close. That was so close between the two of them. If we've said before, we reckon that one's going to go down to the wire, I don't think we could have predicted that. That was incredible. And that one, this is going to go down to the wire. This is surely going to go to the best of 3. And this could be very, very close between these two. What incredible driving. I thought for most of the lap, Leclerc had the job done. But Fittipaldi used that slipstream to his advantage, and he nearly got him.
Well, I think some of the other drivers, if they're watching, might have learnt a few tricks there. Leclerc did try his best to try and break that toe early on, but Fittipaldi still got there. So it seems as if you need to do a little bit more than that to try and break that toe, because that wasn't enough, because I was pretty sure initially that Leclerc had that covered, but it wasn't to be. But he still got there just and took the win. But I think we're finding out just how strong Fittipaldi is, aren't we, Hayden? Because, he can certainly take it to the best.
Yeah, I mean, we sort of wrote him off in the round of 16 up against Sasha Fenestraz, and he got the job done very, very easily. And Sasha is no slouch, so he is clearly quite quick. And now he's taken the fight to Charles Leclerc, who's everyone's favourite coming into this. He's doing a really great job. Talking about doing a really great job, we are currently on £5,333.77. So everyone at home who has donated, you are doing absolutely amazing, and we can't thank you enough. If you want to donate, if you can donate, no matter how big or small the donation, then you can do so by clicking on the link in the description if you're watching on the Veloce Esports YouTube channel, the Twitch panels if you're watching us over on Twitch, or type in the chat !donate. If you are watching on the Formula 1 YouTube channel, then head over to the Veloce Esports socials on Twitter and Instagram, and you'll be able to find the links on where to donate over there. But 5,486 has just gone up. So it's just gone up from Jack Clark, who's actually one of the bosses here at Veloce Esports, one of the founding members, and he said, mention me, Hayden. So he's just given us a £150 donation. So thank you for that, Jack. There's your mention. We've got a tweet come in as well. This is from Swift Sambi. That was close. Impressive. Hashtag not the GP. And don't forget, you can get involved as well if you use the hashtag not the GP on Twitter. It was close, wasn't it, Andy?
I think that's as close as we've had in every race tonight and 2 weeks ago when we did it. I mean, that is the closest so far in the versus format. And let's see if we can get it to be even closer, because I'm looking forward to this then as the lights go out. And it is Fittipaldi who will have the advantage off the line, but he squandered that advantage straight away. Poor start, bogged down, and Charles Leclerc sweeps in to take the lead position. And as we've seen already on this track, it seems to be quite difficult to get back ahead. Nobody's managed to overtake from this point onwards yet. We've seen some close action side by side, but once that car is ahead, it seems to be that they do end up winning. So here we go, Charles Leclerc leading at the minute at the end of that first sector, nearly 7 tenths, 8 tenths, climbing up and up that gap. And Fittipaldi is going to need an absolutely monumental final part of this lap if he wants to get himself back on level terms with Charles Leclerc. And there goes the rear big slide. That's the pressure telling. There you go. That's the early signs that the desperation is seeping in. And I think the realisation of defeat will be seeping in pretty soon as well, because he's now 1.2 seconds behind Charles Leclerc. And it looks like Leclerc, one of the favourites for victory, is going to find his way into the semi-final, where he will meet Lando Norris if he can just about keep things under control through the final couple of corners, and then past the wall of champions and up to the line. And it looks like Charles Leclerc will do that, and that, Hayden, leaves us with a mouth-watering prospect in the semi-finals, doesn't it?
What a semi-final we've got on our hands. We've got last time's champion Lando Norris taking on the fan favourite for this event, Charles Leclerc. Like, everyone has been saying how quick he has been coming into this game, and he is now going to be taking on the winner of the Versus Series last time, Lando Norris. It's going to be incredible, and this is only the semi-final. One of them is going to get knocked out, and only one of them can progress to the final. This is incredible, Andy. I'm not going to ask you to call that one because it's too close to call. Unfortunately, that race wasn't as close as we wanted it to be. Enzo really did have a great fight with Charles Leclerc, and he can be proud about it, can't he?
Oh yeah, absolutely. He can certainly be proud about it. But you know, it was just a shame for Enzo that couldn't get that start off the grid to press home the advantage he got in the second race, because, you know, we saw Charles had the advantage in the first race from starting from pole. Enzo unable to press it home off the start. And, you know, as I said already, that puts pressure on you. You know you're going out if you don't make that move, and that brings mistakes. We saw Enzo getting a little bit erratic, a little bit out of shape, and the gap kept building, and then it became too little, too late, and through went Charles. But look at this one, another mouth-watering tie, and this is a quarter-final. We're getting George Russell against Nicholas Latifi. Well, the Formula 1 season might not have started, and we've not seen them head-to-head. We're getting to do it here on Veloce, not the GP, Hayden.
This is the one that matters, really. You don't have to worry about the F1 season. If you can beat each other in the Versus Series, this is where the bragging rights are going to come through for the rest of the season between these two. And we've seen from testing and pre-season and stuff like that, these two are good friends off the track. But will that end on the track in tonight's races? Let's find out as we're about to get underway.
Well, here we go. It's George Russell against Nicholas Latifi. The 5 legs are out, and George Russell leads them away from pole position, and he's just about going to cover Nicholas off there on the inside. So George Russell leads the Canadian Nicholas Latifi through the first couple of corners. But we have seen already that Nicholas loves a late lunge. He loves to go for a move when least expected. He's very entertaining on the racetrack. So here we go. Russell, who, you know, got through ahead of John-Eric Vergne. We didn't really get to see much of Russell. He won that first matchup, and then we didn't see Vergne again from that moment on. So Russell really now getting into the business end of the competition with his first real competitive matchup against Nicholas Latifi. And at the moment, he's passing with flying colours. He leads by 6 tenths, which is a pretty reasonable margin at this stage of the lap. The gap, though, beginning to come down as Latifi tucks into that slipstream. 5 tenths becomes 4 tenths, and now he's right there, braking very late. That will give him a slingshot out of the corner. He should have a good run to try and challenge George down the straight. Here we go then, the two Williams drivers doing battle. The first time this season we're getting to see it, whether it be in real life or a virtual world. But yes, here it is, folks. You're seeing it now. Here we go. George Russell covering the inside. Latifi trying again round the outside. Oh, not quite. But Russell picked up a 2-second time penalty, and Latifi needs to keep his foot in, and he will keep his foot in, and he will in the end, I think, on the penalty, go through. I'm not too sure how that one's going to work out, because Latifi certainly went for a late lunge, didn't he? And George Russell went the other way. Let's see.
I'm not too sure. We'll have to wait. I think there was Latifi won. I think Latifi won that one with George Russell penalty. I mean, they both cut the corner, but I think Latifi backed out of it enough to stop himself from getting a penalty. And unfortunately for George Russell, He got the 2-second time penalty, and it's very daring to make a move. It's such a tight chicane there. You've got the 2 apexes very close to you as you follow through, and you've also got a wall right on the exit to meet you if you make a mistake. And so it's very close. It's very big battling between the two of them. Latifi did win that one. So now we've got to go again. George Russell versus Nicholas Latifi. George is going to want to try and get back at him because he was looking in command early on, but Latifi, great racing, great line, and force Russell into a mistake.
You never know with Latifi. He can be 5-10s back, 6-10s back. You just never know. He's going to go for anything he can get. He can squeeze through on, and it's a great to watch him race because it's been fantastic so far. But Latifi gets that one. Very clever thinking from Latifi to back out of it, wasn't it? Just to cover himself to make sure. Hold on a minute. George has got the corner. I've got it. I'll back off and play the safe game. In the end, he gets the first point. But yeah, this is going to be really tight between the two. Looking forward to seeing how the second one goes. But yeah, the two Williams teammates battling each other on the F1 game. Fantastic to see.
Yeah, this is incredible. Who would have thought this, 5 weeks ago, that you would see 5 Formula 1 drivers doing 1v1 head-to-head battles against each other around your favourite F1 tracks. This is absolutely incredible. Nicholas Latifi wins the first match, but he's going to have to go again if he wants to try and snuff out his Williams teammate of George Russell. Can he get the job done? We're going to have to wait and see for that. But the winner, of course, for this one will meet another F1 driver or an F1 driver's brother. So, there is still a long way left to go until they get to the final.
Yeah, a long way to go to get to the final, isn't there? But I mean, Latifi delighted on his home track as well, getting the victory, wasn't he? So home track of Canada, getting that win. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It's shaping up nicely. We've got that fantastic semi-final already in Charles Leclerc against Lando Norris, and we're waiting to see how this shapes up. I mean, still got no idea. We said at the top of the show, didn't we, that this side of the draw is the difficult one to call. I mean, still, I do not have a Scooby-Doo out of those 4 who is going to be the one that ends up making their way into the semi-final.
Yeah, it is, like you say, so hard to call. You've got the likes of Latifi, Russell, Albon, Leclerc, who have all proven their worth in recent races, that they are all quick. And we're going to find out here if Latifi can get the job done in round 2, or will it go to the best of 3? Andy, over to you.
Well, here we go. Latifi starting on his home circuit from pole position this time round. It was George Russell the upper hand last time, and George Russell immediately trying to set things straight through the first couple of corners, and they're bumping together side by side. And Russell, has he got the edge? It's incredibly close between them. The two Williams cars trading paint, but Russell has got the inside line and is through and holds the lead at the moment. So Russell getting the elbows out. He is ahead of Nicholas Latifi at this stage. But look at that, Latifi still there, very, very close between them as they make their way down the short straight towards the braking zone for that second chicane on the racetrack. Latifi still very, very close, closer than he's been in the previous attempt. So if he was as close as he was last time and won, you've got to fancy his chances from this far back. Oh, huge moment there for Latifi, all over the curb, out of shape, and he's going for it, down the inside, into the hairpin, surely far too hot into the corner. He was far too hot, goes deep, and through goes George Russell and Hayden. This time it didn't work for Nicholas Latifi, did it?
No, it did not, but, don't count him out just yet. He could close up here in the slipstream and possibly with a good line through the next chicane. If George Russell cuts this, oh no, Latifi's done it. There we go then. Latifi has given that one to his Williams teammate. George Russell will take the victory and will take this to a best of 3. I mean, great battling between them once again. Unfortunately, Latifi just outbreaking himself there, didn't he?
Yeah, and again, I keep saying it, Latifi going for moves where you would least expect it, trying to catch George out really late and moving out from behind his Williams teammate there to try and catch him out. That's what you've got to do. And he just left it late, timed it perfectly in terms of moving out, but in terms of the braking, not quite. Overshot it, off he went, and George Russell went through and went on to take the heat. But yeah, really enjoying this scrap between the two Williams teammates. Let us know, guys, who do you think is going to come out on top in this battle between them in the final heat? I'm really looking forward to it. Hayden, hate to put you on the spot, it's a tough one, but who?
Oh, I want to go Latifi just because of the moves that he has been pulling off so far tonight. There's been some incredible moves, and even in the last 2 races that we've just seen, going for them Wait, you just wouldn't expect it. Round the outside of the chicane, up the inside into hairpin. There was around the outside into the other chicane, which was like the turn 5 or 6 or whatever it is. You're better with your corner than I am. But he tried it around the outside and he very nearly pulled it off.
Yeah, he did. He's so entertaining. It's brilliant to watch. And yeah, I think I'm a neutral, but yeah, for the show, the way Latifi's been going for all these moves, I'd love to see him go through to the next round. As I mentioned earlier on in the show, his battle with Tia McMarrick was just something else back in Suzuka last time out 2 weeks ago. So yeah, I hope we can see that go all the way, perhaps even the final, because yeah, really enjoying the action. But we can't discount George. George is very quick as well. They've already had a few good battles out there. So yeah, looking forward to this final. See who comes out on top as we reach 5,700 now, Hayden, on that counter. We're nearly at our next marker of 6,000 for another prize.
Yes, the prize for 6,000 will be unlocked, and that will be a giveaway of a BenQ monitor of the winner's choice. Of course, these the winners will be chosen after the stream, so you can expect yourself to be contacted in the next week. But here we go. The round 3 showdown here in Canada. And over to you, Andy.
Yeah, here we go. Latifi again starting from that pole position there. So he is ahead of George Russell going into that first couple of corners. Has George maybe jumped into that Mercedes to try and get the lead position? Perhaps he has, but I think the guys at Veloce are wise to it this time. Maybe they put it on random to ensure that doesn't work. So here we go. Latifi leading the way from George Russell. 2 tenths between them. George Russell tries a Latifi manoeuvre. It doesn't pay off. They go deep into the corner. They both scamper across the grass and they rejoin, and it's honours even as they go side by side now down this short straight. And is Russell through in that Mercedes ahead of Latifi? They're so close, and Russell has done it. He's up and ahead of Latifi for the moment. I'm sure the stewards will have something to say about the move prior to that, though. Latifi then tucks into the slipstream and will wait to see if he can make a move. He's certainly close enough to try. There's no doubt about it. This is as close as we've seen anyone so far to making a move. We've seen people get alongside, so do not discount the home favourite on his home track, Nicholas Latifi, up against his teammate George Russell. So here we go in towards the braking zone. Is Latifi going to be close enough? No, he's not. And surely Russell, through the final couple of corners, will win in the run to the line. Come on, camera pan. There we go. And it is George Russell by 0.05 of a second. But I wonder, Hayden, what the stewards thought about the actions down at the end of the first sector.
Well, it's certainly going to be interesting. I mean, Russell did make contact. He did make contact there with Nicholas Latifi, but he did slow down enough. However, I have just been told in my ear that George Russell has been disqualified for the collision with Nicholas Latifi. So Latifi is once again into a semi-final. This time, though, can he go one step further and make it to the final? But a cracking battle between the two of them nonetheless.
Yeah, that's the preview for the Formula One season ahead when it does get underway proper. And yeah, really close fight between them, Hayden. A really exciting battle. And yeah, fantastic to see Latifi through then to the semi-final. And we wait to see who he will meet. We've got Arthur Leclerc against Alex Albon. That is going to be quite the scrap, isn't it, in the final quarter final to see who will join Latifi in that semi, and then we'll be a wee bit closer to discovering who might come out on top today.
Exactly. You know, once we get into that, we're into the semis. Then there's just 2 matches to find out who's going to be in the final. It's all wrapping up rather quickly. The round of 16 feels like, you know, not that long ago, and sadly, it feels like we're going to be ending very soon. But we've still got a lot of racing left to go. We've got this quarterfinal, 2 semis, and then a final. So don't go anywhere because there's lots of exciting racing still to come. But like you say, Alexander Albon versus Arthur Leclerc. This is going to be an exciting one as well. Both of these guys very close. We've seen them race against each other in other series, and it's going to be very close, Andy.
Yeah, it sure is then. So it looks like it will be first blood from pole position for Alex Albon. So he will lead them off the line. But Arthur Leclerc looks to have had that better start and is pulling alongside into turn 1. On the outside, that's not very advantageous. He's going to be stuck there, and he remains in that second place. So Alex Albon will lead them through what you would think the majority of the first sector, if not all of it, as they go down the hill through that right-left section, and Arthur Leclerc brushing the wall there, not leaving anything on the table as they come to the end of that first sector. Let's have a look at the gap. 4 tenths roughly between the two. But as I've said already, I keep saying it, this is the section where the overtaking happens, where the slipstream takes effect, and we might start to see Arthur Leclerc gaining. And already we're seeing that. The gap down to 3 tenths. Leclerc really attacking that section of the track, and the gap is almost 2 tenths. It is 2 tenths, and Albon feels the need to cover the inside. That's how quick Leclerc is going, and Albon covering that line might compromise the exit now. Leclerc tucked right up behind that Red Bull. We've got a prancing horse against a charging bull. Who's going to come out on top as they go side by side down the long straight towards the final chicane? It looks like Leclerc is just going to get ahead into the braking zone. Albon has the inside though, and Albon makes it work, and the Bull takes the victory. The Red Bull crosses the line. Alex Albon to take the win in that opening heat, and I've got to say, Hayden, that was one of my favourite races so far.
That was amazing. That was actually incredible. It was so close to call right up until the line. I almost thought Leclerc had it, but Albon, great defensive on the inside to hold position and take victory in round one.
Yeah, we've seen so many drivers, Hayden, get a bit messy into that chicane, haven't we? Bumping across the runoff area, picking up penalties, but you've got to give credit to both of them for keeping it clean and making their way through that chicane without any trouble. But especially, as you say, Alex Albon timed that braking perfectly. It proved that the inside line was better to have than being that little bit further ahead as Leclerc was, and it worked out for Albon, and he takes the first heat. But, if that's what we're going to get for the next two, I cannot wait, because it's quite the battle, and I'd say it's probably the closest we've had yet. I know we've had cars, that far apart on the finish line, but these two really do look like a proper match, don't they?
They really do, and I mean, we've seen Leclerc come back from being 1-0 down. He lost to TM at Marduk in the round of 16, and he came back and he won. So don't count him out just yet, guys at home. He could still take the fight to Alex Albon. We just have to wait and see. We're getting very close now to the £6,000 mark on the total raise. And of course, as I said earlier, the prize for £6,000 will be unlocked, which is a BenQ monitor of the winner's choice. If you guys at home are able to donate, then you can do so. If you're watching on the Veloce YouTube channel, then you can check out the link in the description. On the Twitch, you can check out the panels. There'll be a link down there, or you can put in the chat !donate. If you're watching on Formula One YouTube channel, then head over to the Veloce Esports social channels, Twitter or Instagram, and you will find the links on how to donate over there. And if you want to get in contact with us, you can do so using the hashtag #NotTheGP. But here we go. Albon versus Leclerc, round two. Over to you, Andy.
Here we go then. It looks like Alex Albon then will lead them off the grid, but it looks like Leclerc gets the better start, and he will be through into that first corner. Leclerc covering off that inside, ensuring there's no way through for Alex Albon. Remember, Albon 1-0 up in this particular contest, the final quarter-final matchup of the night, to see who will march through into the semi-finals to face up against Nicholas Latifi. So 1-0 Albon, he's behind at the minute, and Leclerc at the minute is on course to make it 1-1, but there's a long way to go in this lap, and Albon is very, very close, only 2 tenths behind Arthur Leclerc as they reach and go underneath the bridge at the end of this second chicane. So through they go. Albon a little bit out of shape, Leclerc gaining a little bit of ground, builds that gap back up to around 3 tenths of a second, but Albon isn't going to be shaken off that easily, and we're once again going to see the prancing horse against the Red Bull. Here we go then, out of the corner, and it looks like Leclerc got a good exit. Albon was a little bit out of shape, and Leclerc, as you'd expect, weaving from left to right, perhaps taking some tips off his brother, who earlier on was trying some weaving actions, and it looks like Leclerc is going to have this one covered as they reach for the brakes. Albon trying everything to get alongside, and he is the first man in the Wall of Champions, and Leclerc takes the win, and as you'd expect, Hayden, this one's going the distance.
It is. Albon giving me some flashbacks from squad sprint at Canada. They're going into the Wall of Champions and getting stuck there, unfortunately, for Alexander Albon. But he went for it, and that's what you've got to do in these races. If he doesn't win, it goes to round 3. If he does, he's through into the semi-final, and he doesn't have to worry about that pressure all-or-nothing final events. You've just got to send it. You've got to try everything to get the job done. He tried it. Unfortunately for him, it just didn't work out. But we've got another battle between the two of them, haven't we?
Yeah, another battle to come. And, Albon, first time round, mastered that chicane, got it perfect. Second time round, wasn't to be. But, as you say, he had to go for that move. He had to try everything. But, Arthur Leclerc takes the victory in the end, and we go to that decider to see who will be into that semi-final against Nicholas Latifi. What a lineup we've got then. One side of the draw, Lando Norris against Charles Leclerc. Other side of the draw, Nicholas Latifi against either Alex Albon or Arthur Leclerc. If Alex Albon gets through, that's 4 Formula One drivers out of the 5 that participated in the semi-finals. What does that tell you?
I mean, it's incredible stuff if we can have that. But, you know, we could have Leclerc in there and we could get a Leclerc v Leclerc final.
Well,
two brothers going head to head. You know, family feuds are going to be kicking off after that. But, you know, who knows what could happen. It's very even between the two of these, and it is certainly all to play for. But, like you said, Lando Norris, Charles Leclerc one side, Nicholas Latifi, and one of these two on the other. Who's going to take it? Let's find out.
Here we go then. Arthur Leclerc starts from pole position as we get going in the run down to that first corner. It's very tight. It's a short run, and Arthur Leclerc will easily hold off Alex Albon. Alex Albon clipping the back of Arthur Leclerc there. No damage done. I don't think damage is on in this series. Otherwise, we'd have seen Albon in the wall quite severely in the previous race. But here we go. Arthur Leclerc still holding on and bouncing off the barrier. Surely he's not going to squeeze through there. Oh, that was so close between Leclerc and Albon. Credit to them both for not coming together and having a huge shunt. But Leclerc holds on for now. You can see how much this means to the two to try and get into the semi-finals and join the three Formula One drivers already sitting there. Up the inside goes Albon. Off the track he goes. Surely the stewards will have something to say about that. Will he try and let Leclerc go? Let's see. Side by side down towards the hairpin they go. Who's going to lead? Albon's going to lead into the hairpin. But this is what it's all about. This is the clincher. This is the decider. Who will have the inside line? Who will be ahead going into the braking zone for the chicane where the Wall of Champions sits? Albon goes for the inside. Has Leclerc got the overspeed? Has he got the position? He tries to force Albon out, and now they're going to go side by side through there. Yes, they are. And Albon, by the skin of his teeth, for the second time bounces off the Wall of Champions, but this time gets away with it and marches into the semi-finals. Unbelievable.
Wow, that was incredible. Alexander Albon, I take my hat off to you, sir. That was incredible. Round the outside of the second part of that chicane, clipping the wall, but still getting the job done. Incredible stuff and great battling between the two of them. I think one of the best battling that we have seen so far between two drivers tonight, although the two Williams is definitely worth a shout. Here is how it looks on the bracket. We have got Lando Norris versus Charles Leclerc in one semi-final. In the other, it's another two Formula One drivers. Nicholas Latifi in the Williams will be taking on Alexander Albon in the Red Bull. It is a four-way Formula One driver shootout. Who's going to take the crown? Who's going to take the bragging rights as we head over to USA for the semi-finals, Andy?
Yeah, United States circuit, another one that could provide great side-by-side action. I love this circuit. It really has got a mixture of old Formula One tracks from the past and, you know, for example, Austria. I mean, look, that first corner up the hill in Kota reminds you a little bit of that Austrian circuit, doesn't it? Maggots and Beckett's section at Silverstone, you get that reminder in the first sector as well at the Circuit of the Americas, don't you? And then turn 17 and 18 at the end of the lap as well reminds you of that famous Turkey Turn 8 circuit. So, you know, it's probably one of my favourite tracks by Hermann Tilke, and it provides great racing. It should be an exciting race in all of the semi-final matchups and all the heats ahead, and it's probably one of my favourite tracks in the game.
It really should. This is going to be exciting. Up first, of course, is going to be Lando Norris versus Charles Leclerc. Leclerc was the fan favourite coming into it. A lot of people had their money on him, but don't discredit Lando Norris. He won, of course, last time. He knows what to do in this series. He's won it before. He knows exactly how to get to the final, and he knows how to win it. So this is going to be very close between the two of them.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very close, and we're about to jump straight into it. No messing about. Here we are then at the Circuit of the Americas. Lando Norris against Charles Leclerc, and we are underway. This is going to be the biggest matchup we've had so far. Leclerc will lead them into that first corner then. He leads from Lando Norris, the winner last time out, remember, 2 weeks ago. He won the entire tournament. Leclerc, though, the favourite this time to win. Here we go, down the hill. Close your eyes, folks. We're going to go side by side into the S's almost. And this is not going to work out. Norris is off into the barrier, and surely that means it will be first blood to Charles Leclerc. He just needs to keep it on the island, and he should get the win. And the old saying, Hayden, isn't it? 2 into 1 just doesn't go, and it looks good, Charles Leclerc.
Yeah, it really does. 2 into 1 doesn't go. I think Lando did try to back out of it. He saw that Leclerc did have the inside line. He was ahead of Lando at the time of going into the corner, but he just couldn't get out of the way quick enough. And unfortunately, just a little bit of a clip between the two of them was enough to send Lando Norris round. But luckily, the way this format works, there are 2 more races able to happen next. If Lando Norris can win the next one, he can take it to the final in this best of 3. So it's not over yet for Lando Norris, and it could not be over yet. Leclerc could make a mistake. I mean, he's taking it very cautiously around the rest of the circuit. So it would be quite a surprise if Charles Leclerc did make a mistake all on his own in free air. But you never know. Stranger things have happened. But it looks like he is most likely going to get this race win and take a 1-0 victory so far into this battle between himself and his other Formula 1 driver of Lando Norris. But it'll be very interesting if Lando Norris gets a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. Despite driving on his own, he's trying to push as hard as he possibly can, or maybe just entertaining his fans over on his stream. But it was good battling. I mean, it was very short battling. It sort of got a bit ruined very early on. But, you know, we've still got one race and potentially another one still to go.
You know, Hayden, it was one of those ones where you go into a corner and you're uncertain, you're undecided. Should I go for it? Should I not? Should I pull out? Should I not? And he pulls out, and you know, it leads to the collision. You maybe find if he committed and both drivers committed, they'd have got through all right. We'll never know. We'll never ever find out. But you know, half-heartedly went in. And then, of course, he got that touch and round they went, and it wasn't to be. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, we only saw 2 or 3 corners of action, but if they can keep it clean all the way through that section, I'm pretty sure we're going to see it all the way through the lap. Because as we were watching there's a tight, twisty section in the middle of the lap from turn 12 to 16. You can see a lot of side-by-side action in that area of the track because it follows a long straight. So, yeah, there'll be plenty of action there, and I'm looking forward to it. And hopefully these 2 can get through the first part of the lap unscathed this time.
Yeah, hopefully they can, and we can have some entertaining racing on our hands over the rest of the lap. Of course, we know these 2 are going to be quick. We know that these 2 are really going to put on a show against each other because, of course, one is the winner from last time. The other one is the favourite. But, you know, it's not over yet. Lando Norris there. He is on screen. The pressure's going to be on him because he is the winner from last time around. He's got a lot of people watching him live over on Twitch. Do you reckon he'll be able to handle that pressure?
Well, I think he can handle the pressure. I certainly think he'll be able to handle it. But I mean, we've seen already that it certainly gets to him when he's in these 1v1 heats, doesn't it? I've seen it over on his stream and I've been watching it back. So here we go then. Lando Norris this time will be on pole position, but there's the key moment already. Charles Leclerc gets to jump into that first corner and is ahead, but he's gone too deep, and that will allow Norris to come straight back through. And Lando Norris, as you'd expect, not allowing his rival back on the track easily. He just runs along the edge of the curb, and Leclerc has to wait to rejoin. As you'd expect from these competitive Formula 1 drivers, they're not going to give anyone an inch, and Lando Norris pounces on the mistake from Charles Leclerc at turn 1. Here we are then, through the SE6 that reminds you so much of Max and Beckett's at Silverstone, and then down towards this hairpin. Is Leclerc thinking about a dive up the inside? It's such a wide entry, and Lando was a little bit cautious in the brakes. Leclerc wasn't, and he touched them there going through that corner. But now we go down this long straight, and Leclerc is right in the slipstream. Lando Norris defending to the inside. He can't defend anymore to the inside. He now switches back to squeeze Leclerc onto the curb, and Lando Norris should just about hold on for now then. So into this tight, twisty section I was speaking about. This is where you can make these dive bombs. Leclerc goes for one. It was a really aggressive one. Gets himself alongside, but Lando will still have the inside line as they're about to exit this corner. What a switch back from Charles Leclerc. What a line he took there. Great slingshot. Are they still side by side? Yes, they are. But Leclerc looks like he's got the job done through turn 17 and 18 and into the final couple of corners. Surely that's it. Leclerc covers the inside. It's the only thing he can do. Norris now tries to switch back, but Leclerc parks it on the curb, makes it impossible for Norris to get alongside, and he takes the win and marches into the final. The champion, the favourite from last week, has been dethroned.
He has. We are going to have a new champion for this series. That's incredible stuff. Unfortunate for Lando Norris, but Charles Leclerc, so good under the brakes. I saw it into the hairpin before the long straight, and then even after the hairpin as well. So good under braking. How does that man do it? But he is, of course, through to the final, and joining him could be potentially one of Nicholas Latifi and Alexander Albon. But incredible stuff there from Charles Leclerc.
Yeah, great stuff. Great battling between the two. Obviously, we were robbed of it in that first race because of the contact, but yeah, I really enjoyed that. Good action out there. Leclerc, as you said, Hayden, so late on that brake pedal. I think he got caught out by how much earlier Lando was in the brakes. Lando tried everything on the straight, covered to the left, then moved to the right. Slightly naughty. He put Leclerc right out on the curb. Didn't quite leave the car's width on the right-hand side. And Leclerc, I think he was a bit frustrated with that. He went for that dive bomb, barged himself alongside, and at the end pulled the switch back in the next corner, and it was a great move and found his way through.
We're getting told that Lando won race 2, so there's a rule. I'll wait for explanation more on that, but we're being told that Lando has won race 2, so that's an interesting. I'm waiting to see why. We're waiting to see why that has happened. Have you got something to say about that?
Oh, that's what I'm saying. I'm thinking it might be because he squeezed, maybe because Leclerc went for that dive bomb on Lando into the first corner. Leclerc was on the curb. He was on the curbing for the first move at the end of that. So it was turn 13. So at the end of that long straight, it's turn 12. And then into turn 13, Leclerc went to that inside line. And maybe because he's barged him.
Apparently a bit too hot on the brakes. So I think it's for maybe the collision before the long straight or something like that. We're waiting for more information as the evening goes on. But we're going into a final heat, and that's going to make things exciting. Charles Leclerc versus Lando Norris. It's 1-1. Who's going to take the victory between the two of them? This is going to get exciting now.
Don't ask me who, because I've got no idea. This is going to go right to the wire. I'm going to leave that up to the guys in the chat to discuss who they think is going to be winning this one, because if we're going all the way to this decider, it could be great. But yeah, I think it was Leclerc maybe into turn 13, just, forcing himself alongside Lando that has led to this next race. I'm sure we'll find out more later. But we're going to a final race nonetheless. Lando against Charles Leclerc to see who goes through to the final. Is Lando going to make his second successive final, or is Charles Leclerc on his debut in these Veloce Esports events going to come out on top and march into the final? Hayden, what a mouth-watering prospect. It doesn't get any better than this, does it?
I know, I still can't believe it. You've got Charles Leclerc battling Lando Norris, and then on the other side of the bracket, you have Nicholas Latifi taking on Alexander Albon. The excitement just carries on. It just goes on and on and on. And I can't wait for this battle alone, and I can't wait for the next one, and I just can't wait for the final. I can't wait for any of it. This is incredible stuff. I want to know what you guys think at home, though. Don't forget that you guys can get in touch by using the hashtag #NotTheGP. We've got one coming in now from @Sean McGowan. Hashtag #NotTheGP. I'm going for a Leclerc v Albon final. So that could be very interesting. We saw them go head-to-head in a battle recently, but we're going to find out who's going to come out on top between these two, Andy.
Here we go then, Lando Norris against Charles Leclerc. We are going all the way to a final race, and it's Charles Leclerc that leads them off the grid into that first corner ahead. Does he outbrake himself this time? No, he won't make the same mistake twice. He's a Ferrari driver, for goodness sake. On the way down the hill they go. He will lead as they go into that S's section. Leclerc ahead, Lando Norris throwing his car into that first part, but at the minute he is still behind, and he picks up a 2-second time penalty. He's cut the corner a little bit too much, and surely that will be that. But we don't know. Leclerc himself could make a mistake. We know this circuit of the Americas can be strict on corner cutting if you take a little bit too much curbing. We've seen it in real life before, haven't we, with Max Verstappen? Look at that from Norris, up the inside into the hairpin he goes, tries his best, goes too deep, and Leclerc will sliver back underneath him and
Lando Norris there battling and we're back on board with Lando Norris and Charles Leclerc. They're going side by side. Norris now round the outside. Can you get the inside line? Andy, I'm going to hang over to you as Norris tries to battle it with Charles Leclerc.
Yeah, he's trying his best, but Leclerc looks like he's got the upper hand at the minute as they will go through the long turn 17 and 18. Lando Norris trying absolutely everything. He's got the rear end sliding everywhere in desperation, but there's half a second between them. There's only 2 corners left. Norris picks up another penalty. He's flustered. He's trying absolutely everything. It's not going to work for him now. He will get up the inside here, but as a result of the time penalties, the big contact, and they collide. And I think that's a bit of a messy end there, but it is Charles Leclerc on his debut in the Veloce, not the GP, who makes his way into the final, and Lando Norris has been dethroned, Hayden.
He has. I mean, he was delaying the inevitable there going into the next one, but we got some more exciting racing, even though there was the penalty for Lando Norris. He made it exciting. He put the entertainment factor into that final race, and to be fair to him, really good move into the final corner. And it was a legal move as well. He didn't cut the final corner to make that move. Squeezed Leclerc on the exit though, and I think that was his downfall. He could have crossed the line ahead of Leclerc, even though he would have had penalties, he could have still got the bragging rights for crossing the line first out on track had he just not squeezed Leclerc there. But nevertheless, Leclerc is through to the final, and in even better news, we have raised £6,000 for UNICEF. Which is absolutely incredible. Thank you to everybody who has been donating at home. You know, like I said earlier, if you can donate a lot or even a little, you know, any amount will go a long way to supporting the families who are currently dealing with this tough time. And with the 6,000 marker reached, it means that we are now giving away a BenQ monitor of your choice to the winner. So anyone who does donate can get involved. We have had a few of them go out already, including pop sockets from Veloce. We've also got hoodies and jerseys, as well as F1 tickets. I've got to dye my hair blue because we reached 4,000, but we're going to go now straight into the next battle. Latifi versus Albon.
The second semi-final is underway to see who will join Charles Leclerc in that final. It is Latifi leading from pole. Albon on the inside though, and it looks like Albon has got the line. Alex Albon is through and ahead, but Latifi should get a good run out of this corner. Are we going to see a repeat of what we've seen in the other semi-final in the first leg? And we are going to see a repeat almost side by side into the SE section, and Latifi is wise to it, holds firm, and Alex Albon will lead for now. But Albon picks up a 2-second time penalty. Will news filter through though to Nicholas Latifi? Surely all he needs to do now is just stay within 2 seconds, and he will be one leg up on Alex Albon as we go down towards the braking zone for the hairpin at turn 11. Albon a little bit wide, and Latifi is going to have a good run on him here. Into the slipstream he will go. Albon parks his car in the middle of the road for now. He's going to have to make a move left or right in a moment. It's Albon still in control. Latifi thinking about the inside. Albon covers to the left. Latifi going to try and outbrake him. Go right round the outside. Is there going to be some more magic from Nicholas Latifi? It looks like there might be. He's found a route down the inside. Inside for the next corner. And Latifi, is he through? They're banging wheels there. Unbelievable. And Latifi has got through, but Albon now has that inside line and forces Latifi out and regains the place. Okay, it's not all counting for much because of the penalty, but it's great to see these drivers still determined to put on a show for you viewers. And Albon's gone a little bit wide. Now Latifi will have a chance into the final turn perhaps. Not quite. Trying everything. Albon covers again, and Alex Albon should come across the line first. But with that time penalty, the first round should go to Nicholas Latifi. Great to see, Hayden, that they're still trying to put a good show on despite penalty.
Yeah, I mean, that is great to see that Latifi is, despite the penalty being there, Albon still putting up the fight. And Latifi, because these guys driving, they don't actually know if that driver in front has got a penalty. Yeah. They're driving blind. They don't have a race engineer constantly talking, unless they're talking in the Discord amongst themselves. We don't actually know that. But if they're not, they don't know if the other driver has a penalty. So it is still all to play for. Latifi could have just been sending it because he thinks, oh no, Albon's got me here. I need to do something. But with the penalty, Latifi takes the win.
Yeah, really, really good stuff there. Great to watch. And Latifi now, are we going to see him go all the way to the final with these desperate dives and moves? I hope we do see Latifi perhaps go on, but we'll have to wait and see. Alex Albon, he's been very entertaining as well. He's put on a great show, and that penalty really cost him there. But I think we're going to have a really good fight between these two. I think it could be another one that could go the distance headed. And as we anticipated, more and more races, the further in we get, the more likely we are to go the distance.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, it was a great battle throughout the whole track, and that's what we want. We want battles to go on for the whole lap. We don't just want to see, okay, they're waiting until they get to the straight, the move is done, and that's it for the rest of the lap. They are trying it at every single corner, and it nearly works, especially when you've got someone like Nicholas Latifi, who doesn't care where he is, he's going to send it.
Well, here we go then. It's the second round. Latifi one up then on Albon as they go side by side. Off the grid they go. Albon covering to that inside line. And Latifi switches back to the outside. This should give him a great exit. That's very clever driving from Nicholas Latifi. Slithers underneath Alexander Albon and has the advantage. He has the lead as he looks to march his way into the final to meet Charles Leclerc. And what a final it would be. What a final it would be if it's Latifi or Albon. I think it's going to be fantastic regardless. As Albon tries to fight back through the SE section. Latifi still holding on, and Albon getting out of shape. pressure beginning to tell, and Latifi now has a solid 6 tenths, 8 tenths gap. Could that be curtains for him? We'll have to wait and see if Albon can fight back. Hayden, what do you think? Do you think he can get through?
Oh, I mean, the gap's quite substantial now. You know, it's on a, you know, the 6 tenths, 7 tenths marker. So it's going to be difficult for Albon to come back into this, but he needs to, because it's all going down into the final race if he can get the job done. If he can't, then Latifi is going straight into the final. But Latifi currently holding his own up against Alexander Albon. Albon not really finding too much time on Latifi, but a big old send up the inside forces Latifi off the track. I think the stewards might look at that one, because I think contact was made. Albon still on the inside though, holding his own through this long right-hander and into the final 2 corners. Latifi up the inside, but he runs wide, could pick up a penalty, loses the back end. That's going to allow Albon to have a look up the inside into the final corner, but is not good on the exit. I think Latifi's just about gonna get it. Oh my God, that was close. 15 thousandths of a second separating those two, and I believe it was Nicholas Latifi who took the race win there overall. I will wait for confirmation on that one though, so we're just waiting to see whether it is confirmed that Nicholas Latifi will take the race win over Alexander Albon. But again, Andy, great battling between the two of them.
It's so unpredictable. There's me handing over to you thinking, oh, this one looks done, we'll have a wee chat. And in the end up, it went all the way to the wire. We ended up with one of our best races yet. Okay, we had a few crazy dive bombs, a few off-the-track moments, but, you know, they're rubbing wheels with each other. It was a great battle in the end. And, you know, I need a photo finish to discover who won that. Who was it? Who did you think won it in the end?
I think Latifi just crossed the line ahead of Alexander Albon by 15 thousandths of a second. That's what came up on our screens, but we're waiting to see on confirmation whether that was the case.
Here we go.
Is it going to be? It is. Nicholas Latifi is into the final of Not the GP Versus. He's gone one better than last time. Of course, he lost out to the YouTuber Tiamat Marduk, but this time he is going all the way to the final, and facing him is going to be the Ferrari driver of Charles Leclerc. What an exciting matchup that is. 2 drivers that are not afraid to make a move.
Wow, what a final. It's a fitting final, Hayden, isn't it? I'm really, really looking forward to this one. Latifi versus Leclerc. It should be an absolute cracker. I don't know how to call it. I think it's going to be a good final. Obviously, Leclerc has been the favourite throughout the tournament. We've expected him to come to the final and perhaps win it. But you just don't know with Nicholas Latifi. He just goes for every move and any move, and we need to make sure that Charles Leclerc is ready for it. He was ready for it way back, and it seems like a long time ago now, against Annabelle when they went side by side, didn't they? He covered Annabelle off well. Let's see if he can cover off Latifi's crazy moves. Latifi loves going for it, doesn't he?
He really does. Here are our 2 finalists, though, and this is their route to the final. Of course, Charles Leclerc beat Arava. It was very close, actually, in the first round between Charles Leclerc and Arava, but then Leclerc did get the better of him. Then he moved into the quarterfinals against Enzo Fittipaldi before facing up against the McLaren F1 driver of Lando Norris. He got the victory there, and he moves himself into the final. Nicholas Latifi had a different path to the final. He did go up against the Fittipaldi as well. This time it was Pietro Fittipaldi. And then he went up against his Williams teammate in F1 2020 of George Russell. He got the victory there. And then we just saw him beat Alexander Albon to make his way into the final. Of course, the final is going to take place around Britain. Andy, talk to us about the Silverstone circuit.
Well, it's a fantastic track. Probably one of my favourites in the calendar. You know, great action side by side here. You know, I've commentated on many great league races on this track that provides so much drama, so much action. And I'm really, really looking forward to this one, Hayden. You know, you've got that long straight, the Wellington straight down towards Luffield, down towards Brooklands. You can go side by side through there. You know, you're flat out all the way through Copse Corner from the exit of Luffield, through Woodcote, through Copse, and then through Maggots and Beckett's, and then on to that final part of the lap. You're going to have battles all the way to the final couple of corners at Club. And yeah, it's a fitting finale. And, you know, I was expecting to see it last week because it's that good a track. We're getting to see it this week, and I'm really looking forward to it. Great circuit for racing.
We made you wait for it, and hopefully it was worth the wait. This is going to be very exciting indeed. Of course, this is happening because of the postponement of real life sport due to coronavirus, but we are trying to fight back by supporting UNICEF in this moment. So we are trying to raise money for them. We are currently on £6,183.66p, which is incredible. So thank you everyone who has been donating at home. But there's still time for you guys to get involved. You can donate by using the description on YouTube if you're watching on Veloce, and also checking down in the panel section if you're watching on Twitch. If you're watching both of the Veloce's Twitch and YouTube channels, just put in the live chat, !donate to find a link there. And if you're watching on the Formula One stream, head over to the Veloce Esports Twitter and also Instagram to find the links over there. But you can also get involved if you don't have the money spare to donate by staying at home, staying safe, and protecting yourselves and saving other people's lives. And if you do want to get in touch with us here at Veloce Esports, you can do so by tweeting us and using the hashtag #NotTheGP. But here we go. The final, Nicholas Latifi versus Charles Leclerc. This is going to get exciting. We've got a tweet coming in. Final, Charles Leclerc versus Nicholas Latifi, not the GP. Bring it on. Bring it on indeed. This is going to be exciting, Andy. So exciting.
Yeah, brilliant to see. Great. Looking forward to it. We've got the favourite, the man with the speed, against the man that goes for these great dive bombs, tries to catch you out at every opportunity. There's such a good dynamic to this final. I'm really looking forward to it, and I can't wait to see who comes out on top. Hayden, I'm going to have to put you on the spot. I'm just going to do it.
Oh, how did I know you were going to do that? Well, it's very close. I mean, Charles Leclerc has been the favourite from the start, and I think I've been saved by the bell. But quickly, I'm going to go Nicholas Latifi. I'm going to back Latifi.
Okay, I'm also going to back Latifi. Let's see what happens then as we go racing in the first leg of the final. Remember, it's a best of three. It's Charles Leclerc leading at the moment as you go down towards the braking zone into the loop section, and through goes Latifi straight away, going for one of those dive bombs, and he's got it done on the Monegasque driver. But here comes Leclerc, right round the outside they will go. Here goes Leclerc, can he make it work? No, still Latifi just about a fraction in front as they make the run down the Wellington Straight and into Brooklands. Leclerc trying to sweep right round the outside. He's made it work brilliantly. That now gives him the inside going through Luffield. Superb racing between the pair. Now Latifi moves into the slipstream behind Leclerc. Remember, it should be flat out almost from this point on, all the way to the end of that hangar straight. Leclerc feels the need to defend. Oh, unbelievable stuff. Look at that, the rear end sliding on Latifi. Leclerc off the track almost. Unbelievable. They're both driving on the limit as we go through the famous Maggots and Beckett section, and it's still Charles Leclerc that holds on at the moment in heat number one. Going down the straight they go, and Leclerc weaving left and right, trying to hold on. The gap is 5/10, and surely that should be enough, but you never know with Latifi. He likes to go for any move that might arise, but he's gone a little bit wide. He's out of shape, and surely Leclerc is on course now to take this first heat as we go through the final couple of corners. And in the final, the favourite, Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari, comes out on top in leg number one.
Yeah, he sure does. 1-0 victory. 1-0 at the moment between Charles Leclerc and Nicholas Latifi. He takes the victory as we move into the next round. And, you know, we backed Latifi at the start, but we may have cursed him because, unfortunately, he is down 1 point over Charles Leclerc. But there's still plenty of time left to go. And, you know, we'll be backing those brave moves there from Nicholas Latifi, which he tried once again in the next round. He has to go for it, hasn't he, Andy?
Yeah, he has to go for it. We've seen him going for it all night, but now we're going to see a different level from Latifi in terms of going for it, aren't we? He really has to get himself back on level terms, and yeah, I can't wait to see how this goes. I mean, I just love the Silverstone circuit. We saw some great racing there, particularly in the first part of the lap, and yeah, I love it. I can't wait to see what happens. Latifi versus Leclerc, oh, what a final. And, you know, it's already got the makings of what we saw last week with Ben against Lando Norris, doesn't it?
It really does. If this goes all the way to the third heat, I mean, it's so close to call. It was so close then. I mean, although Charles Leclerc did have a little bit of an edge over Latifi, we know that he can pull it back, and it's certainly going to be close between these two. You know, the pressure is on, even if you are with that 1-0 lead, because one mistake and it's all to play for, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is all to play for, and I hope that we do get that final race. I hope we do get to see it because you know, it's been so good up to this point. You know, seen so many great battles throughout the day, And I hope we do get the fitting finale by going all the way to the distance. We've got the fitting finalists. Let's have the fitting 3-race finale to cap it all off. It's been a great success, and I can't wait to see who can come out on top and become the champion. But it is, of course, first blood to Charles Leclerc. But there was some great dicing and diving in there, wasn't there, between the two, especially in that first sector. Latifi straight away up the inside. Leclerc coming back, making a lovely move round the outside into Brooklands, gave him the inside for Luffield, and through he went. And in the end, he held on from there. So let's see what happens. Race number 2. If Leclerc wins, he is the champion. If Latifi wins, we go the distance. Here we go. The lights are out, and we are racing here at Silverstone in race number 2. Remember, it's Charles Leclerc 1, Latifi 0. Latifi was on pole here, but Leclerc is pulling alongside. He should have the inside into the braking zone. And again, as he's done so often, brakes very late, perhaps too late this time. It looks like it, because Latifi is through and up into the lead, and as things stand, is on course to force us to a finale. 3 tenths between them. A long way to go in the lap, though. Plenty of chances for Charles Leclerc to fight back. This is one of them, but he's not close enough as they go into the braking zone for Brooklands. So Latifi has survived one of the potential overtaking opportunities. Leclerc still sitting there, waiting to pounce, but at the minute, not close enough. As we go through Woodcote, down towards Copse Corner, let's see how tidy they are. Latifi decides to move to the right-hand side, comes back to the left, doesn't feel the need to get too defensive, but Leclerc is getting closer and closer and closer as we now go through Maggots and then into Beckett's, and this is going to be very, very close going down this straight. Still Latifi in front, but Leclerc is right there in that Ferrari. Latifi is surely going to need to get defensive if he wants to force this to a finale. He moves to the left-hand side of the track, then moves to the centre, edging towards the right, then back to the left, and as we go into Stowe Corner, Latifi is still on top. Are we going to see a surprise from Charles Leclerc into Vale Club? It doesn't look like it. Yes, we are, in fact. It's late. It's a 2-second penalty. Latifi goes spinning, and surely Hayden Gullis, that will result in a Latifi victory, and we will get the final we want.
It sure will. I think good sportsmanship there from Charles Leclerc to let Latifi back through. He had to send it, in all fairness. He had to. If he wanted to take the victory and not let it go to the 3rd round, he just had to try something. He tried it. Unfortunately for him, it didn't work out. But to be fair to him, he stopped. He allowed Latifi to get back into position, and rightly so, take back that victory to make it go to the final decider. This is it. This is going to be the final race between these two. It's one apiece. They both performed amazingly in their own victories, so it's just so difficult to call. How do you call this? How do you call this between these two? You just can't, can you?
Yeah. You leave it to chat. I think that's the only thing we can do, Hayden, because it's so difficult to call. Because, you know, Latifi, he's just so unpredictable. He loves to go for all these moves, and Leclerc, you know, with the speed he's got, the speed he's shown, you know, because of that unpredictability that is Nicholas Latifi, you just don't know. And he loves going for these moves, and it's great to see. But you know, I don't know. I think Latifi's got something up his sleeve. He always does. In a corner where you're not expecting it, and it's just a matter of whether Leclerc's going to be ready for it, Hayden. I think that's what it's going to be about.
Exactly. I mean, what a story this could be. Nicholas Latifi taking on the favourite for the competition and beating him in the final. I mean, Nicholas Latifi, has had a great path to the final, and it's been difficult for him. It's been slightly easier, I think, for Charles Leclerc on the build-up, but he did have to beat Lando Norris, who of course won it last time, and he would have to beat Nicholas Latifi to get there. So both of them would be fine, worthy champions.
Yeah, they both would be, no doubt about it. I have to agree with you. Certainly in the earlier stage, I think Leclerc had it easier. But then in that semi-final matchup, you know, Leclerc against Norris, that was a titanic scrap. We saw it went to 3 races. So, you know, you're absolutely right. Both would be fitting winners. None of them have had it easy. They've really had to work to get to this stage. And here we are. Final race, 1-1. We just couldn't ask for it to be any better. You just couldn't. And I'm really looking forward to seeing if it's going to be Nicholas Latifi or Charles Leclerc that steals Lando Norris's crown.
Yeah, so am I. Oh my God, I cannot believe this is going to happen in front of our very own eyes. Charles Leclerc versus Nicholas Latifi. If you have got time, don't forget to get in touch using the hashtag #NotTheGP. We would love to see what you guys think at home. We're currently on £6,297.65. So the tally, the total rise is going up very nicely indeed. Here we go. Final battle between these two. Andy, over to you.
Here we go then. Charles Leclerc leads them off the grid and through the first couple of corners. So the Ferrari will have the upper hand, but Latifi immediately tucks into that slipstream, moves to the left-hand side and is going to try and go for the outside. He can't do that. Leclerc deep into the corner. Latifi now on the outside as they go through the loop section. Now, this is Latifi's chance. He's right into the slipstream. This is as close as they've been together so far on the racetrack down this straight, and Leclerc senses the danger. He covers the inside line, but the Canadian, Nicholas Latifi, looks like he's going to get right round the outside, is he? But again, Leclerc saves himself from being overtaken by braking extremely late and covers off Latifi for the moment. Okay then. That's part one done. Now through to the second part of the lap. Leclerc still holding on, but Latifi's got some serious speed. Not into Cox's corner. Round the outside, he's got his hand out the cockpit and everything. Unbelievable. Leclerc still holding on. As we go down into Maggots and Beckets, there's nothing to choose between them. We've had a last 16, a quarter-final, a semi-final, and now we've went all the way in the final race. It's going to the wire. No, it's not. Latifi's lost it. He's in the barrier, and surely it's all over now. A big mistake there from Latifi going through Chapel, and surely that hands Charles Leclerc, the Monegasque driver, the victory. He looks like he's going to take the crown away that was earned by Lando Norris 2 weeks ago as the Veloce versus champion. Charles Leclerc coasting round the final corner. He is the new Veloce versus champion. He wins in the end from Latifi in second. What a deserving winner, Hayden Gullis.
Definitely a deserving winner. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Charles Leclerc is on Not the GP versus winner. What incredible stuff. Unfortunately, it was kind of taken away from us. There he is doing donuts out on track. You love to see this incredible stuff there. Well done, Charles Leclerc. And I think there's smoke coming from Nicholas Latifi. Yes, he's doing some donuts too out on track. And, you know, fair play to Nicholas Latifi. Great effort from him to get second place. Unfortunately, just one simple mistake cost him maybe a battle into the last couple of corners between himself and Charles Leclerc. But I think these two have had a lot of fun tonight. It's been fantastic watching these two battle it and everyone else battle it out on track. But yeah, great battling and great driving there from Charles Leclerc to get the race win and also the victory in the series.
Yeah, it was fantastic, wasn't it? A deserving winner, Charles Leclerc. Great racing throughout. Just a little shame we never seen it go right to the flag in that final race. But despite that, there was still great action out there. It was still a joy to watch. And in the end, Leclerc comes out on top. You know, Hayden, I think next week we're going to need a last 32, a last 64. We're going to need to do it all day. It's brilliant. It's so much fun. So much fun to cover it. It's great to watch. And yeah, hats off to Leclerc. So many great battles all the way through that. You know, he started his journey by defeating the content creator Arava. You know, it wasn't easy. Arava tried his best to make things difficult. Leclerc had his work cut out, had to get defensive at times and passed the test. And yeah, from then on, he's just marched all the way through.
Yeah, so yeah, Charles Leclerc, the winner. Like you said, he had a difficult, well, maybe not a difficult start to proceedings, taking on Arava. But he got the job done. You still have to race who is in front of you and out on track. And he got the job done. He got the job done against Enzo as well. And then it was a tricky battle up against Lando Norris. And like you said, then taking on Nicholas Latifi. And great battle between the two of them. Both, I'd love to give it to both of them, but unfortunately we can only have one winner, and that is of course Charles Leclerc. Brilliant job from him today. Absolutely incredible. We want to know what you guys thought about that at home by using the hashtag #NotTheGP. And don't forget that you can still donate. The donations will be open, so you can still do so by using the link in the description on the Veloce YouTube channel, the panels on Twitch. Use !donate in the live chat, or if you're watching over on Formula One, then go check out the Veloce Esports Twitter and Instagram socials to find ways to donate. Currently on £6,300 and 10p. Andy, great races today. What was your standout race?
Oh, that's difficult. That is really difficult. There were so many great races out there, Aidan. You know, I actually really liked it in the early exchanges, the race we had between Latifi and Fittipaldi. That, you know, it was a wee bit ruined at the end with the ghosting, but up to that point, it was some great jostling. Albon as well, his battle as well in the Ferrari. Who was it against? It was who was he against in Canada?
In Canada, that was up against Leclerc.
Yeah, that was against Arthur Leclerc. Yeah, I really enjoyed that battle, and you know, the both drivers in such a tight area of the racetrack, both getting their way through that. tricky chicane as well. I thought that was a good battle too. I don't know about you, Hayden, but they were my favourite.
That was a great battle. Overtake of the day as well. Who are you going to give that to?
Oh, tough. I don't know. There's so many, Hayden. It's hard. There's been that many. What are you going for?
I mean, there has been some great moves. I think standout has got to be Latifi around the outside in Austria, and then trying up the inside into the two left-handers. Or even Albon defending up the inside into the chicane in Canada. But some great moves throughout the whole entire night. Sorry that I'm not looking at you, I'm just looking over at the donations. A lot of people getting involved, so we can't thank you guys enough. I'm going to read out a lot of them. So this one's from Evelyn Davis, who donated £1, so thank you very much for that. We've also got one from Jamie Hislop, who donated £10 with a message saying, love this. Kat CSGO with £1 saying, thanks for the streams, keeping us entertained. Well, we thank you for your donation and also for enjoying this with us. And one from Harry, £10 donation with wonderful evening. And it has been a great evening, and it's been a great evening for a great cause as well. I'm gonna have to dye my hair after it. You've got away with it. You know, maybe you should dye your hair with me. You're gonna do that as well? Join me on it?
No? We'll see. That's as much as you're getting. We'll see.
Oh man, come on.
Alright, fine then.
We're calling you Blue Andy from now on. I'm kidding, you don't have to. But there's some great prizes up for grab. Everyone who has donated, there will be a raffle and a prize draw, and we'll be picking one of the winners over the next couple of weeks for each of those different prizes. But Charles Leclerc is our race winner, and I'm still in shock. It was just such good racing. I can't believe it.
Yeah, so much great fun out there. I just think the format works so well, Hayden. I think everyone can engage with it. Everyone can enjoy it. Everyone feels the tension. Everyone feels the pressure that drivers are under. And as I've alluded to a couple of times already with Lando, when I've watched the stream back, he is like shaking, literally shaking, racing. And as you mentioned, the actual drivers actually feel the pressure more in sim races. And I think this Veloce versus injects that more pressure because you've only got one lap to nail it, and that's it. If you don't nail it, you're out. And I think the format just makes the racing so much more exciting, and I think it's a great format, really enjoyable.
It really does. I think we should be getting some interviews with the drivers, possibly the two finalists. So we're just waiting on that at the moment. So we're just waiting for them to drop in the call with us, and hopefully we can chat with our finalists later on in this evening. It shouldn't be too long before they get into the lobby. We're just waiting on that, as I said. So we've got technical difficulties at the moment. That's why we are waiting. But we won't be having an interview with Charles because he is having technical difficulties. But I think we should be having an interview with Nicholas Latifi. So Nicholas, hello. Are you there at the moment?
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes? No?
Hello, can you hear me?
Nicholas? Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, yeah, I hear you guys.
Hey, hello. Great battling out there today. Some incredible moves that we saw out on track. How do you pull those off?
Oh, it's tough. I mean, these races are so much pressure. I mean, I kept saying in my stream so many times, I mean, you don't treat these like a real race at all. It's like they just hit so much more differently. I mean, especially knowing it's only one lap and you just got to stay ahead. So you have to be very strategic in whether you're defending or attacking, choosing to brake late, go for an undercut, try and send it around the outside. It's just also difficult. Yeah, my heart is still pounding even the race is finished 5 minutes now.
It was unfortunate to have that accident at the end of the lap because you were right on Charles's tail, and it could have certainly gone all the way to the end. But I mean, we've been very impressed watching you out there today. Last time you were a semi-finalist, this time you're a finalist. Next time you got to be going for the win, surely.
Yeah, that has to be the goal. I mean, I got to work on my starts a bit first because in round one, my starts were king, and that's what was giving me the advantage. And here, got some new pedals now, and I still haven't nailed them. Throwing out the driver excuses here, but Charles was getting rocket ship starts, but no, it was really good close racing. As I said, that last one, I just was going for that rocket ship exit to line up the toe because he's so good in that Maggots and Beckett section, and I just understeered a bit wide. Didn't calculate the dirty air enough, and but it was fun. So definitely would love to be back for round 3 if there is one.
Well, hopefully we do have a round 3, and we will certainly have you back. We've got to get you in to try and get that victory. We were rooting for you going into the final after the fantastic overtakes that we saw. I think one that we do have to mention is round the outside in Austria against Pietro Fittipaldi. That was incredible.
That was a nice one. Yeah, that was a highlight for sure. Yeah. Well, you can actually do that in real life. That's like one of the corners, heavy braking corners, where you can actually go around the outside. But yeah, I wasn't sure if he was just gonna run me out of road. He was quite clean there, which is good, because we do try and do these clean, as there is the virtual stewarding, right? So we don't want to do anything silly, otherwise you get the boot.
But at the same time, you know, you've just got to go for those moves, haven't you? Because, you know, if you don't, you're out.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we saw in many races, not just mine, people sending lunges as a do or die opportunity. And I mean, if they work, they work, and you save yourself. If not, you're out anyway. So you might as well try.
Well, thank you very much for taking part tonight. It was a shame you couldn't get the victory overall, but definitely a worthy winner if we could have given it to both of you. Thank you very much for your racing tonight. And like we said, we hope to see you in the next one.
Perfect. Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
Andy, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you alongside me in the commentary box today. We've had some fantastic racing, and you've been absolutely splendid commentating on. I don't even know how many races you've commentated on. Your voice needs a rest over after this.
Yeah, I think it does, Hayden. I mean, it didn't help there was that much good action out there on the racetrack. So many great races, and yeah, I really enjoyed it, and hopefully we can do it all again, because this format just brings so much entertainment, so much enjoyment.
Yeah, so of course, this could only happen tonight because of the current situation going on around the world with the postponement of real life sport. But we are fighting back, of course, with supporting UNICEF in their fight to help families who are suffering through these tough times. You can donate at home. We are currently on £6,337.14. It's been absolutely fantastic night to raise just that much money alone. We are aiming for a target of 10,000, but we are certainly very happy with how much we have raised so far. But there is still time to donate. There's a lot of time still left to donate, and you can still do so by looking in the link in the description if you're watching on the Veloce YouTube, and also over on Twitch if you go check out the panel section below, or just typing in the chat !donate. You can also, if you're watching over on the Formula 1 YouTube channel, because I know there's a lot of you watching over there, if you go check out the Veloce Esports socials, that's Twitter and Instagram and any of our other socials, I suppose, we will have the link on how to donate over there as well. So after the stream has ended, that is probably your best bet. If you do have a few spare pennies lying about, you know, no matter how big the donation, big or small, it doesn't matter, as long as, you know, we're putting on a good show for you and money is raised, we're happy at the end of the day. We've got a few donations to talk about as well. This one from Ben Cullen, so £5 donated from him. Great racing, thanks to those involved. And one for Bambadol, £20 and 4p. Lando having so much fun watching and keeping the F1 fun. Yeah, it's been fantastic having you alongside me today, Andy. It's been fantastic having every one of you at home watching. I hope we can do this again, but until next time, we'll see you soon.